Salute, and welcome. Welcome back to the Black Ocean. Now, swimming in deep end with your host, the one and only Great Black Shark. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have to talk about the products of lost confusion out here. Oh, family, look, I know y'all like GBS. Why must you bring this back up yet again? Well, I got to talk about this, ladies and gentlemen, because unfortunately, the situation seems to be getting worse, okay? And what you're looking at on your screen here, this four-letter word with an exclamation point, loss. That is exactly what we're going to be examining here. And we're also going to study this, what I have to present to you here tonight, and try to actually analyze exactly how we got here. Because let's be clear, what I'm going to show you here tonight, this is exactly what corporate America seeks to weaponize against our people. And it's very, very detrimental to Black society. So those of us who are on code, Black men and Black women, we have to do what we can to derail this by any means necessary. Because let me tell you something, an attack on the minds of your children is an attack on your entire future, the future for your entire people, okay? So corporate America is doing their job. We're going to do our job over here tonight, okay? So with that said, not everybody understands exactly what the broadcast is going to be about here tonight. Let me scroll up and greet my esteemed guests. And please do let me know if you can hear your brother loud and clear. Let me know if everything's coming through fine on y'all's end. I want to make sure before we get started, because you know, PukeTube, hey, listen, when you're trying to educate your people, it's always going to be something over here with PukeTube. And then on top of all the shenanigans that are going on, yes, family, I keep telling y'all, I've already spoke about that. This ain't that over here, okay? We're going to stay focused on the task at hand, because one of the things that I believe in, I don't believe in us being defeated by the same tactics over and over again. Not in this era, not in the information age. We've seen all the plays that they've tried to run on the outside of us, and we've seen the plays that they try to run on the inside of us. So for me, in this information age here, where those of us that claim to have any measure of intelligence, we should not keep falling for the same things twice. So with that said, let me scroll up and greet you all that I see. I see the brother Tony in here, my good brother CRU Reality, Jesse Paris, aka Shay Nkrumah. I see you. My good brother Yuki the Snowman 3114. Hey brother, we gonna get together about holding that Twitter space too. I haven't forgotten about you, brother. There's been a lot going on. Back to business, I'm going to message you after the broadcast on that particular thing there, brother. Salute to the good sister, Patricia Slade. I see Patricia Jenkins in the house, the innocent moderator. Very good sister right there, y'all. Hey, listen, you need some good book recommendations or where to find them? That's the sister to ask. That's right. I got to put the spotlight on you, sister. She's very good at what she does. Salute to the sister Angelica Elena. Welcome to you, good sister. Derek Parker in the house. I see Mickey Brooks over here. I see Michael Williams joining us. Donna C is in the house. Still Kevin Trees is rolling with us. I see Tia to you. Welcome. Lakeisha Morehouse is over here. Pasta B1 FBA. The good sister Tasha Peters. The Watcher Resurrected. Salute and welcome to all of you that are joining us in attendance over here tonight. Going to be a very thorough broadcast. And before we get started, I hope that those of you that are on Patreon, I hope that y'all are getting your notifications over there. We just recently did a live broadcast over there that I think will be very educational in a number of different ways for Black men and Black women. So if you're over there, go check that out. I'm pretty sure it will be very useful. I made a couple of the white supremacists mad too before we get started here tonight. Oh, you know, when they come over here and they happen to come across some of my broadcasts, you know, educating our people. You ought not to say that. You're the real racist. You know, we're the real racists, right? When you try to educate your people about Black empowerment, you know, we the real racists. So, well, what I did, I struck at the heart of Zaddy because, you know, these were some disgruntled Zaddies that, you know, mouth breathers, you know what I'm saying? Probably sitting in their room with lotion bottles and Kleenex and, you know, and doing what they do when they're, you know, incels and things of that nature. I posted a recent YouTube short that you all are going to want to check out because, see, when they start coming over here putting their alabaster noses in Black business, I'm like, all right, you better leave me alone now, because if I start up on you, let me tell you something. If you get my attention to the point I have to focus on you, I'm going to make it hurt. So the latest short that I put up, I ain't gonna spoil it for you. Just go look at it. It's a very important question. I call it the witchcraft question. And one of their own is asking the question. So when you get a chance, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna make you laugh, but it's gonna make you think at the same time. You know, I mean, look, I'll leave it at that for you all to go check out. And like I said, for those that are not aware, I try to use the YouTube short section of the channel to bring a bit of levity to the channel, since most of what we discuss over here on our live streams or uploads is pretty much serious subject matter. So now that that's been said, we're going to get started analyzing this tonight. And look, family, what I'm about to show you, I'm going to tell you like this. If you're a black parent or, you know, black parents, whichever the situation may be, because I understand people's situations are different with their family structure, this is going to be one you're going to want to take notes on, okay? Because it's sad as it is, but the thing that we always have to do when something is sad or disappointing, we always have to get the lesson out of it, because there's a lesson to be learned in everything. So that's what we're going to do tonight here as we analyze this from that standpoint. We're going to see what lessons we can get out of that and what we can do to make sure that we impart the wisdom to the younger generation so that they don't go down this path, okay? So with that said, we're going to get started.
What's going on and all the other stuff. Oh, so given that it's so much controversy, right? And I'm pretty sure you know because you're in the heart of it. How do you feel when social media creates a narrative that y'all make, and when I say y'all, I mean Sexy Red, her, and Suki make, where women look bad and y'all have a negative influence on the young women that's coming up today?
At the end of the day, you can't nobody make you look bad. You are your own person. Be who you represent. Okay? Nothing that I do can define you. You know.
Let me pause it right out the gate. See, this is the foolish mentality that the turbo thought class has. And yes, all three of them are turbo thoughts. Oh, yes, they are. And if you think they don't be in the hearts, just wait till we get on with this. But ladies, sisters over here, I know you already know this. But then again, there may be some of you that probably think that what she said is correct. Let me break something down to you. We're going to tackle this from a warfare standpoint yet again. The images of both black men and black women, you have to understand how that's been weaponized against us due to white supremacist propaganda with the corporate machine backing it, okay? So now what she's saying, she's trying to say, come at it from the standpoint of whatever she does doesn't affect other women. Wrong, because even though you're an individual, you're wearing the uniform of a black woman, just like I'm wearing the uniform of a black man. So whatever actions that I do, especially if it's something that's considered degenerate or the underbelly, that can be weaponized against our people because, see, we don't control the media here. The media is weaponized against our people. So these heifers right here, they're ignorant. They're ignorant. And see, unfortunately, you can weaponize ignorance and turn it into a weapon, okay? Some of them are ignorant. Some of them are downright stupid, okay? Because we have that out here too. Willful, useful idiots, okay? She doesn't understand the way the image is weaponized when you got the Sexy Reds and the Suki Hondas out here doing what they do. They use that to say, see, this is how they act. And then they make justification for harming our sisters by saying, oh, hell, if you get one of them and off them, look, I'm going to get vulgar here, family, because you know I shoot straight because I want my people to understand exactly what's going on out here in this system of white supremacy. It's going to be very ugly language, but I'm going to say it like the white supremacists are thinking it. So this is the standpoint I'm coming from. I'm going to tell you how the white supremacists view our sisters out here, especially when they see those that carry on with this type of lifestyle, okay? They look at it as, okay, if you hurt or harm or kill one of them, then, hey, you doing white society in general a favor because look at them. They're degenerates. You don't want that around. And here's the other hard pill to swallow. And this is evil. But I've told you before about white supremacists like Leander Perez, who was a white Hispanic, by the way, former governor of Louisiana, that said the best way to kill an N-word is to kill him while he's in his mother's womb. Let me tell you something, ladies. There's a special hatred for you and a bigger target on your backs. Why? Because you are the gateways to life. See, as normal human beings, we don't think in those evil, degenerate terms. But see, I study these people. I understand them damn near better than they understand themselves. So anytime that a black woman is killed or harmed, They look at it as like, okay, that's just one less Negro producing machine. I'll say it that way. I'll try to clean it up a little bit. Y'all know the other word they use. They're like, okay, that's just one less one of them that make one of you some more of these little nigglets out here. That's how they see our babies. They do not see our babies as humans. And see, what pisses me off about that, most black women that you meet, they see all babies as human beings. I mean, I know the ones I've been around. That's the way they see anybody's children, no matter what race they are. They see them as babies. They don't have this racial animus that the white supremacists have towards our children. You understand? And see, that's the thing that infuriates me, because even these women on the screen up here, they would see other races of babies as human beings. And unfortunately, some of them, y'all know the saying, you know, they idolize babies with good hair. First of all, any hair that God give you on your head is good hair, okay? Let's get that foolishness out of here. We don't do that over here in these spaces, all right? But I'm just letting you know how the white supremacists think, because, see, when they're looking at women that's talking like this, let me tell you something else the white supremacists are looking at. They're saying, okay, see, she doesn't even realize that she's a useful idiot for us. Because if you're not aware of how you're being manipulated and used, then that's great for them. They're like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You enjoy projecting this negative image that we're going to use to paint all black women in that light. So, you know, this is why they incentivize the Sukihanas, the Sexy Red, so on and so forth. And the counterparts of that will be your blue faces, okay, your NBA young boys, you know what I'm saying, the bottom of the barrel of black society. And see, they will broadcast that image to the world and make them think that the small percentage, because that's not every black person that's out here acting like that, they will try to broadcast that small percentage and make that the face of black people globally. So you'll have people that haven't even met foundational Black American freedmen. They'll run with that goofy image, okay? So see, she doesn't understand beyond just wanting to do her and all this other stuff and having fun. She doesn't understand how the image is weaponized against our people when it's a degenerate one. And see, I got to call it what it is. This is why hood rats are a detriment to our community. The hood rats and the little goofball pookies and ray-rays that they entertain, they are a hindrance to our people. Are they our people? Yes, they are black. But see, here's the thing. When they engage in this behavior and you can't educate them out of their ignorance, then you have to start looking at them as a liability. That we just got to call it what it is. If you want to make change within any group, society, or community, you have to start looking at, okay, if we've got problems, where are the problems coming from? What's aiding the problems? And what can be done to solve the problems, okay? So that's the proper mindset to view these things. But I'm going to let this continue because I want y'all to see how lost a lot of them are up here with the foolishness that they're about to engage in.
You know what you like to follow. You know what you believe in. You know how you carry yourself. So what the next bitch do shouldn't define who you are. If I go outside right now out front and nigga pull up and I get to sucking dick, you're not doing that. Right. You get what I'm saying? So ain't nobody gonna pull up and be like, damn, well that's the type shit y'all don't know. That's the type shit that this group of people is doing.
Right. You are
this is what
somebody that's like 15, 14, like them are the ones that
they got parents. Raise your kids.
So now we're gonna go into that. That was gonna be the next one. I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, raise your kids.
We're gonna go into that because I wouldn't say I'm gonna say this because you got a boy, you got a girl. So we are not there every second of the second to monitor what it is that they see and what they, whatever. We can't, whatever. So you try to put, positive influence and so on and so forth into your kids. But however, I feel like even though I am a good parent to my kids and I have other people to vouch for it, I'm pretty sure when you go in the house with your kids, you're not Sapphire, Blaze. Kendra, you the mom to your kids or whatever.
Y'all see the flaw in her logic right here? See, let me break this down for you. The way these types of turbo thoughts think, because that's what they are, they think that you can be on OnlyFans. They be thinking, oh, the kids are too young to know. Now, today, this is the most technologically advanced society we've ever been in. This is the most integrated society we've ever been in as far as, younger people intermingling with each other as far as race. It's nothing for a 10 or 12-year-old, and I'm being conservative with that because some will find these things younger, that are savvy at navigating the internet and get on there and see that their mother is up here and they're engaging in OnlyFans turbo dottery. Okay? See, they got this archaic, outdated mindset about the children of today. See, I'm a Gen Xer. These kids today, they've got technology at their fingertips that we didn't even imagine. You know what I'm saying? And they're using it for a vast number of things. Sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative if not guided the right way. Because see, listen to what she was talking about she thinks she's a good parent. See, a lot of them, they tend to think that, okay, if the child got something to eat, got clothes or whatever, they think that's all that goes into parenting. Oh no. Oh no. How you raise the child. That what determines if you're a good parent. And then here's the one thing that this helper right here doesn't realize. She doesn't understand that no matter what you try to put in front of your child or command that your child does, children, boys and girls, they say, yeah, I hear you, mom or dad. But if I look at you and you doing the opposite of what you telling me to do, they're not going to respect you. See, you must lead and be the example that you're trying to impart upon your children. You understand? Yeah, because see, look, what they might not talk back to you, they might not tell you outright, but they can see that you being a hypocrite. So all that, yeah, I'm a good parent, and now a lot of people see. Look, let me go here with this, right? Because I want to be thorough in my analysis of this. The people that she's surrounded by talking about, oh, I got people can vouch for me being a good parent, and y'all gonna see as we get further along, there are other turbo thoughts like you. In other words, so that y'all completely understand what I'm saying to you. Imagine a bunch of fish in a fish bowl, okay? Now, inside that fish bowl, that's the only reality those fish know. Sure, they can see the outside world, but they don't understand that outside world because they're in that fish bowl. Now, outside the fish bowl of a turbo thoughts reality is the white supremacist power structure that says, yes, through you, we will destroy future generations. Now, why am I saying through them? Because they are women. They are the first teachers of children. They are the gateways of life to our people. If Zaddy can corrupt their minds and get them up here like this, look at them, all, especially the one over here on the right. They ain't got sense enough to cover up her damn chest. They don't think nothing's wrong with that either. Just spilling all over the place, and then it'll be the first one over there talking about, where's the men's at? The men's ain't paying me no attention, because you're showing everybody everything that's only supposed to be for your significant other. They don't have no sense of self-respect. And see, here's the thing I got to point out to these fellas, man, because it's probably going to be some fellas live and recorded. Man, I will hit that. You got a fat ass, though. Boy, that's going to be the death of some of you Negroes. Let me tell you something, dude. When you see women carry themselves in a disrespectful manner to themselves, how in the hell do you think she gonna respect you? I want all of you, no matter what age range of man is listening to the sound of my voice. You tell me, if a woman carries herself in a way that is clear that she doesn't respect herself, how in the hell is she gonna respect you? You better ask yourself that question, sit with that long and hard, and see. Let me say this to the fellas: if you choose to lay up with one of these, or worse yet, wife up one of these, shut up. Don't complain. You sit there and you let your lust guide your decision-making process, which is something detrimental to men. By the time we get a certain age, we're supposed to have control of that lust. All men have it. We all do. But if you lead with lust and get so caught up in that, where you start making decisions as far as who's going to carry your legacy, which is your children, and you get one of these, you can't blame nobody but you. Nobody put a gun to your head. I'm going to say it. Probably going to lose some subscribers. A lot of y'all gonna be like, brother, that's a bridge too far. But let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you, for all three of these sitting up here, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again tonight. They're supposed to be invisible to decent men. Look, let me tell you something, dude. The turbo thought problem, it's the women, yes, that's doing it, the ones that it applies to. But the other half of the equation is, they wouldn't be carrying on like that if it wasn't some lame, low self-esteem, degenerate simp that was willing to go in and entertain them, pay attention to them, and be tricking off money on them. They should have zero attention from men, period. Okay? And to that other hat, because look, let me tell you something. I'm gonna be bold and say this. If that right there, what I just said, if most men did not pay them attention at all, not even just to lay up with them temporarily, let me tell you something. Women are just course very quickly. Okay, they'd be like, oh hell, this ain't working. See, the only reason they engage in that because especially today we've got a society that coddles that behavior, and it's not just okay, well, you trying to control them or nothing like that. No. Society coddles and funds their degenerate behavior because, like I said before, you destroy the minds of the women, you destroy entire generations. I mean, look, y'all better look back at history. That's not just me talking. Go back and look at ancient civilizations. Yeah, you can beat the crap out the men and kill them and everything. Okay, cool. You did that part. But if you really want to lay waste to a civilization and bring that under an iron grip, everything can't be handled by the sword and the blade or the bullet and the gun. Get control of the minds. Get control of the indoctrination as far as education and religion. And if you can get the women who are the first teachers of children to pass down whatever you instill in them, see the Willie Lynch letter, whether you think it's real or not is not the point. Look at what happens when that task is accomplished. You can put your guns, your bullets, and your swords and knives up. You don't need that. You conquered the most important thing to a society. It's mind. You understand? So that's where I'm coming at it from here tonight. Let's let it continue.
So, having said that statement, I feel like it's kind of like a little borderline. Because even though I am influencing my kids, they see me do positive things and so on and so forth. They also see fun. And what a lot of people put out is fun. Like what Sexy is doing is fun. What Suki is doing is
Let me pause this right here because, see, a lot of y'all gonna find this harsh, me saying this, man, but somebody got to call this what it is because you got a lot of people that'll see this kind of behavior and try to make excuses for it. Let me tell you something, dude. All of these are grown-ass women. Fellas, if you got a woman sitting up here, because, see, first of all, I'm going to be honest, for me, they're invisible. I see you. Okay, but as far as entertaining you, no, I don't want nothing to do with you. Definitely not in no serious relationship. You're damn sure not wife material. And I really don't want to be seen in the same circles with you because it's like, to me, that's embarrassing. This condition right here, and I'm saying condition of a terrible thought, that's embarrassing because, see, as they talk, you're gonna be able to tell that they got about all the collective intelligence between them of a damn dining room table. This heifer, this grown-ass woman sitting up here, they out to be fun. By the time you get this age, what are you talking about fun as if you still a child? See, this is arrested development. And I'm telling you, I'm not saying this with any joy. I'm saying this and pointing out to you how tragic this is. I mean, y'all, when you hear how they're talking here, you gonna see, you be like, yeah, brother, I see what you mean. Fellas and ladies, this is something that's gonna have to go by the wayside. And I think a lot of the younger sisters, when they see how the outcome of these jokers right here gonna be, because see, I'm gonna tell you where they're going. I can see their future. I'm not I'm not Shortstradamus or anything. I don't have any clairvoyance, but I can study the past because the past is the best indicator of the present and the future. Their future is Ebony K. Williams. Their future is Vivica Fox. Their future is by themselves, whining and crying about, where the men at? No, you sat here and carried yourself in a way when you were in your prime where you devalued yourself. Because, see, let's be clear. A man can't do anything to you as far as degrade you or devalue you until you do that to yourself. The only other way would be if one of the low-life degenerates tried to force themselves on you. But outside of that, when you present yourself like this, you gonna get what you attract. You're gonna attract exactly what you going out here baiting and fishing for, which is mostly the homosexual and the Pookie and Ray Ray class. And every now and again, you may have some dude that's got a little bit of trick off paper that say, you know what? Yeah, you can be, you know what I'm saying, the 3 to 2 a.m. booty call, but for a scene in public, nah, baby, that ain't gonna happen. And see, this is why a lot of them think they win in, because they'll go and find that latter guy that I just mentioned that's willing to live with them in private, but don't want to dare be seen with them in public nowhere. It's pathetic. Like I said, the condition of a turbo thought That's something all young ladies need to avoid. These hoes are not winning, and I'm calling them what they are. If you don't like that tough titty New York City, these are whores that you're looking at on your screen. I'm gonna let this continue, and if you think what I'm saying is harsh, by the time this broadcast is over, everything I said is going to be validated.
Fun. Well, really fun. Everything just seems like fucking fun. So it's like, do I want to listen to my strict ass mama that's telling me like, you know, you need to do this, do that, let me show you this, blah blah blah, or do I want to have fun? Okay. And these kids we talking about. So then, how do you respond to that?
Okay, so see what that I'm gonna compare from back in the day to now. Like back in the day, again, like. And this is to take it back to the beginning of the interview. As far as my mom with credit, like, oh, just throw away the credit card, but never made emphasis as to why.
What's your nationality?
I'm Jamaican.
Okay.
So like my mom, I'll cut the credit.
I'm so glad she said that. Oh, yes, sir. Be proudly Jamaican. That's what you gonna be. Yes, the other two, I think they're FBA, but yeah, yep. And Jamaica, sorry. Hey, family. Get your brooms and your dustpans out. Sweep this right back on over to Jamaica. We got enough turbo thoughts to deal with over here. Hey, keep your little blonde wig head turbo thought. Keep her, okay? So I'm just glad she's claiming her nationality. Let it continue.
The card up, throw it away, but never made emphasis as to why. There was no supporting details as to why we can't do that. I actually have a relationship with my daughter. It just ain't.
He's trying to kill me.
Yeah, it ain't just like, oh, just be straight. Don't do that shit. Stop twerking. Stand up. Don't do
How
that.
your daughter is?
She's 10. She'll be 11 in November. But I have a 16-year-old son too, and I'm gonna get into him. But
did you hear this, heifer? She just said it so nonchalantly. Said, "Don't do that. Stop twerking." She said her daughter is 10 years old. Let me go back to the fellas briefly for a second. Brothers, and see, this is a lesson that was passed down from the grandparents, the grandfathers on both sides of my family, my mother's side and my father's side. You know, my father, uncles. Guard your seed. You do not impregnate this. Once a woman gets to this point and mutates into a damn turbo thought, there is nothing you're going to do to reform it. There's no religion. Yes, I said it. There's no religion that's going to take her out of that. That they're done. It's over. That's almost like you trying to, like, you know, use some type of rotten fruit in a garden. It's over. Ain't nothing you can do with that. You got to throw that out. Once their mind reach this stage, ain't no coming back from this. The old saying stands, you will not be able to turn a whore into a housewife. That does not work. You understand me? And see, she's sitting up here talking about telling her daughter to stop twerking. First of all, why would a 10-year-old even be exposed to that? Because see, I get it. It's all around them today. And when they go outside your house, they're going to see all manner of things. But in your home, if you have a structured, disciplined home, your daughter wouldn't even dare try to do that in front of you. If she did it, it would be something you have to catch her doing off from you. And see, I'm going to tell you like this, because I've seen it done. I know what it is to have a good mother, okay? I've seen other people that raise their children the right way, especially if you got a two-parent household situation. If mother and father talks to those children, young boys and girls, and it instills the right thing into them, yes, they're children. All of us did stupid things when we were kids. But if you got that foundation where people are putting the right thing into you, there's a scripture in the Bible that says that, you know, you train up a child in the right way and they won't stray from it. They'll come back to the foundation of what they know to be right and wrong, okay? More often than not, if you're steady putting the right things in them from an early age, they won't ever get to become this. Because see, ladies and gentlemen, whether you like what I'm saying or not, we got to make sure we stop these young ladies from becoming this here up on this stream, because everything up here is tragic. And see, the worst part about their situation is they're sitting up here talking to each other. They don't realize how bad it is. And see, fellas, can you imagine, man? Like for example, I saw the disgusting video and I started to put that in this broadcast tonight, but I'm not going to put it in here. And for the record, no, that place was not in Atlanta. I heard some people saying that. I'm an Atlanta native. I ain't never seen no goddamn place where you can take mother and daughter and go be on no damn pole. So we going to have to stop that bullshit. Everybody going to have to stop trying to put everything on Atlanta. I'm going to get into a future broadcast about that bullshit, but I digress. Let me tell you something. Those little girls that was in that video that I just talked about, if they had fathers there that understood that and seen that, they'll be like, whoa, hell no. If anything, boy, if anything would motivate you to fight to get custody of your child, it should be something like that. I'll go a step further. If you see a video of your child in a classroom and they singing Sexy Red, withdraw that child from that school and you need to get custody of that child. But see, you know how you don't go down that road in the first place, fellas? Make sure that you're careful about who you decide to start a family with. There's no perfect scenario, but a lot of these dudes out here just knocking up any damn thing. And then when you get this right here isn't even qualified to respect or take care of itself. And I said it, yes, because turbo thoughts are its. They're not qualified to respect or take care of themselves. So what the hell, if a person cannot look after themselves, what make you think they're going to look after you and a family? You can't get something from nothing. That's just not going to happen. So that's the part that I would impart to these fellas, man. Start thinking with the head upstairs instead of one downstairs. Because see, even if you don't give a damn about, your reputation, your child doesn't deserve that, man. No child deserves to have these heifers here for parents because they're about as smart as two damn dead flies put together. They really are, okay? So I'm going to let it continue. Like I said, you think what I'm saying is harsh? Oh, just wait till they get to talking. Let's get back to it.
I actually have a relationship with her, and the way the world is now, like, I can compare to her in her real world, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, like whatever, Facebook, whatever is popular. Now we're to the point where we're involved just as much as the kids are involved. So my daughter asks us.
Now you hear this silly heifer up here, okay? You hear her, she talking about, oh my God, family. I'm gonna have to compose myself to get through this because this is infuriating, man. Because see, I know the damage that this does to the future of our people in Black society. She doesn't understand that you're not supposed to have the same damn interests as your child. You're a parent. You're supposed to be the guide for your child. Because we both involved. See, that's another goddamn problem, too, that corporate America has. You got these grown women that are still trying to hold on to their damn teenage and high school years to the point that they got the same interests as a damn 10, 15, 17-year-old. Do you understand how insane that is? On Instagram trying to do shit. Look, fellas and ladies, how many of you have seen these goofy pictures where women about this age is licking their tongue out and flipping a damn bird at the camera like they 17 or 16 years old? Ain't got no damn sense or self-respect. So how the hell you gonna guide a child if you still out here trying to be one your damn self? See, that generation, I think my generation was probably the last that saw that, where the women accepted growing into their age and said, okay, look, I'm the auntie now, I'm the grandmother now, okay, this is the phase of life I'm in. I'm supposed to be trying to impart wisdom to the generation coming up. When social media blew up, and we all saw the start of it, when social media blew up, particularly with Instagram and the rest of these platforms like Facebook and all of that, boy, you started to see that transition where, because I understand it. What happened was this generation of women that are older, instead of them, because some of them that are older than them are still out here doing this shit, trying to be like teenagers. What happened was they said, ooh, I wish I had this when I was actually their age. Let me just go and jump on it now. And instead of realizing that they look like a damn fool doing that, you sitting up here in the same clubs with teenagers and shit like that and 20-somethings when your ass is 30 plus 40-something years old. And I apply that to men too. If you a man out here and you trying to frequent the spots and it ain't for business where young 20-something year olds and 17-year-olds at, man, something wrong with you, dog. You know what I'm saying? But keeping it in the context of what we talking about here, that's what we started to see. And see, again, in case you think I'm just going in on them, trying to point to you what the problem is, because there's very few people that are going in on this like I will. Corporate America sat back and looked at that and they said, yeah, we've been trying to throw everything but the kitchen sink at these Negroes, and now we finally have a generation and an apparatus that we can use to make them destroy themselves. Because see, these helpers that you're looking at right here, they have the minds of children, basically toddlers. And basically what white supremacist corporations are doing, they're giving them candy with poison in the middle. Because, hey, what better way to get you to take poison than to give you something that you enjoy the taste of? You see where I'm going with that, family? Hey, but people tell me I'm reaching. Wow, I'm going to debunk all of that tonight. Before this broadcast is over, let's let it continue.
Me real life questions, even down to like doing Zeus Network with baddies. Like my daughter would be like, Ma, like you and so-and-so was fighting. What happened? I have real life conversations with my daughter so that if she's ever faced with these things, she knows how to handle it. My daughter has a real life relationship with Suki and her kids. So she understands Sukiana as a character, and then she understands Sukiana as Destiny, like her real name. So she
No, the hell that child doesn't, you fool, you. Did you hear her? Family, them children don't discern between, look, let me, oh my God. See, this here. Lord be with me. I got to get through this because I'm the only person that's going to go in on this the right way. Them children don't understand the difference between fantasy and reality. Why? Because look at the things that they get themselves into when they don't have the proper guidance. They think that fantasy is reality. Same thing for the boys. The flip side with the boys will be jumping out here in these streets, listening to that music and shit and thinking that them rappers are really living that way when you have a lot of rappers that are admitting, especially today, that, hey, all that drinking and smoking and getting high, talk about it, I don't even really do that. You got several of them that tell you they don't even drink alcohol. 50 Cent is one of them. A couple of them. They come right on out and tell you, hey, man, that's just for entertainment, to make a buck. And there's a responsibility on them as well because, see, unfortunately, there's a lot of children out here that look up to them and they'll value their word over their parents if their parents ain't really like parents that are actually about raising their children. See, when you let an iPad or the TV or whatever raise your children, you're doing them a disservice because what you're doing is creating the perfect drone for white supremacist America. For the boys, hey, you're going to go out here and start committing crimes. You're going to contribute to the degeneration of your neighborhood. And then when I let you do enough, I'm going to warehouse your ass so I can put you on the modern day plantation, which is a prison, and get free labor out of you. And for the young ladies, oh, you going to get out here as soon as you can and throw them legs open and make me another batch of prison slaves so I can get free labor off of. You understand how diabolically evil this shit is? And it's sad because, like, there's a generation of black folks that should know better, but they trying to engage in fun, like this helper was saying. But, you know, hey, I digress. I'm going to let them get back to it.
understands what work is. Sometimes we do things that everybody may not agree with, but you just got to be yourself. If that's what works for you and you making money doing it, by all means do it. People are going to judge us whether we're walking the straight path as a...
All money ain't good money. There's the I'ma do me mentality. If that's what works for you and it's making money, then do it. Okay. So if that's the case, huh? See, when heifers like this talk this way, or dudes, because there's some dudes that say the same thing, when people like that talk that way, just imagine a situation, for example, so that you can really understand what I'm saying, family. Imagine a real life situation like the Purge where, okay, everything is legal for 24 hours. So now, if you think all money is good money, what if somebody seeks to victimize you to make their money? You can't switch it then and say, hey, that only applies to other people, not me. When you got the likes of Nicki Minaj and the rest of them out here talking about they don't let their younger relatives listen to their music, what that tell you? That means you know that shit ain't right for no child to be listening to. But yet you doing it to get the bag. See, let me tell you something. That get the bag mentality, that shit is cancerous. We're going to have to start getting people like that the fuck out of our community, family. If we really serious about creating a healthy, wholesome future for our people, you can't be trying to coddle cancer, you know what I'm saying, and then try to act like, well, they just having fun. Okay, but if the fun is destructive to not only the community, but the future generations of the community, then you got some decisions to make. Is the fun worth sacrificing the future for? Just want y'all to let that sink in while we continue analyzing this.
What we consider a real woman, because our definition of a real woman might not be everybody's definition. Your definition of a real woman might be sitting in the house and letting your nigga take care of you and not doing shit, but making sure when that money come in, you pay the bills. Your definition of a real woman might be, I got my man, but I'm going to work too, and we finna go 50-50. Everybody not finna agree with you.
Right.
Their definition might be, bitch, I'm finna get the bag, and I'm finna be a hood rat, and this is what we doing. So it's all about defining what.
See, when you got a group of them gathered together and none of them have an ounce of sense in their head, they all give each other confirmation bias. They actually think everything that they're saying is making sense. Here's a question for you. Oh yeah, I'm gonna throw a question out here because see, a lot of times challenging this foolishness, you don't have to be a PhD You don't have to be an astrophysicist or anybody with any type of fancy titles in academia behind your name. All you got to do is hit people with these simple truths. That is the most powerful weapon that you can have. I'm going to pose a question. She talking about hood rats. Got a question for you. What value to a damn community is a fucking hood rat? Tell me that. What value to a community is a damn hood rat? Please find me one positive attribute to that. There's a question for y'all. The next time that y'all ladies out here talking about you don't know what to say, pose that question to me. You're going to have some courage to do it if you're a woman, because I understand that the society today, it creates a hood rat friendly environment because they're youthful idiots, like I said at the beginning of the broadcast. They are one of the main ways that they have been weaponized against our community in a number of different ways because they affect the future, especially if they having kids, okay? Hit them with that question. What value to a community is a damn hood rat? Name just one. You don't even have to have a list of 5. Just name one positive attribute to a community that a fucking hood rat bring. Let's let it continue.
All of us as women consider a real woman. They might do hood rat shit, myself included. I'm going to give you a little bit of both. I'm going to do some ratchet shit. I'm going to give you some real woman shit. But at the end of the day, if that's what works for you and that's what pay your bills, by all means do it. You don't have to teach your kids that. I'm going to teach my daughter that, hey, listen, I'm going to try to entertain what they're interested in. My daughter loves to dance. I'm not going to be like, okay, well, let me show you these strippers. Let's hit the strip. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk ballet. We're going to talk TikTok dancing. We're going to talk music videos and things like that. And I'm going to teach her. Everybody may not agree with you bucking. We grew up bucking in Miami. Like all of us, we was down, we was grinding, we looked like we was twerking. Now,
where was your father? Where were your fathers? How about that? See, you notice that? Look, they're not going to mention that at no point in this damn interview. Watch what I tell you. Where your father's at for you to be allowed to turn out like that? Because see, there's only one way that a young girl gets out there in the streets like that. That's if there's no man in the home. I noticed what I said, in the home, not come over from the next town or city or he round the block, in the home, so that his word is law in that household. Okay. Now, is that to say that you still don't have some rebellious young teenagers, boys and girls that are going to do what they want to? No, of course not. But usually when their father's in their home, they say, look here, you in this house by a certain time. If I have to come find you, listen, privilege is getting removed, going on punishment, whatever need to be done to make sure that I take care of you as my responsibility. Because see, if you don't, you get them out there in the streets, and see, the streets are manufacturing everything that white supremacists need to fill these prisons and get free labor out of them and continue harming the community. Okay. See, yes, we understand white supremacy. Oh, yes, that is the greatest threat to our people. However, white supremacy is aided by a lot of this off-code behavior in our community. And this right here is about as off-code as you can get. A group of turbo thoughts sitting up here, co-signing each other, and then the minute that you try to impart some wisdom to them, see, y'all know it. Everybody in here knows somebody that fit this type of hood rat mindset right here. If you try to bring them anything that's about self-improvement and education, they reject that shit like vampires do sunlight. You know why? Because I got to say this like it is. When you try to present any type of education or black empowerment to a hood rat, they shrivel the fuck up from that, because that means they can't have fun no more. That means you got to put fun down and actually roll up your fucking sleeves and do some damn work. And see, this is why they don't go after any intelligent brothers, because, hey, the only thing that they qualify for is Pookie and Ray Ray, that class. Because Pookie and Ray Ray, hey, that's their male counterpart. Most of them were raised by heifers just like them. So shit, they can relate to them. And a lot of times, they actually are smarter than Pookie and Ray Ray. They can manipulate them to do all types of goofball shit. That's why a lot of them are sitting in prisons now or in the ground, because they sit there and be manipulated by these heifers. Instead of them using the positivity of their femininity to influence males or men in the right way, for example, like a Dr. Francis Chris Welsing, okay, or a Sister Soldier, Ida B. Wells, okay. When you understand why Jonathan Majors was always talking about trying to have that Becky, which was ridiculous, trying to get that Alabaster to act like Coretta Scott King. He kept saying Coretta Scott King because that woman's name is going to be well respected amongst our people long past her time of living, okay? And there's many sisters that fit that description, okay? You see? See, that's the type of women that they don't want the images of in front of these young girls today, because if you can get that positive image of a Dr. Francis Chris Wilson, et cetera, out there, the Shahrazad Ali's, if you can get those positive black women out there that they see are intelligent, educated, and they get respect without showing the world their ass and bending over, twerking every 5 seconds, they know that if you can get those young ladies' minds geared towards trying to become that, now your society's future has a chance. See, think about it. Name one thing in mainstream media and on television today that even comes close to what I just described. Where's the channel or outside of the black grassroots, but where's the mainstream media stuff where they're talking about a Dr. Francis Chris Wilson, etc.? They act like those women don't exist. Oh, but they'll show you the latest helper that's done jumped out here twerking like your Sexy Reds and Suki Hunters, because that's what their agenda is all about. Damaging the minds of the future. Let's let it continue.
Well, now they call that twerking. But now when people see it, they like, oh, that's grown. Like, why y'all doing that? But growing up, that's what the fuck I was doing too. But that's what works for us. So my thing is, do what works for you. Raise your kids on your belief and stay on that path. I've instilled so much into my children that it ain't much that you can do to manipulate them. They gonna see it, they gonna be intrigued by it, but they know that I have an open door policy. They could come talk to me about it to see if this is right. Mommy, is this what I should be doing? Does this make sense? Is this okay? Again, I have a son. My son is 16 years old. He ain't gang banging. He don't own a gun. He don't want to gang bang. He ain't out there fighting. The only problem I have with my son, he smoke weed.
Do you hear this, helper? Do you hear this, helper? See, y'all thinking I'm just saying this just to be saying it. I'm showing you how damaged this type of mindset is, and hopefully, brothers out here, those of you that aren't fathers yet, I'm trying to show you why you don't never get one of these pregnant. The helper said her son is 16, and the only problem my son had, he smoked weed. That's all. Oh, that's all, huh? That's look, helper. How did he even get introduced to that in his teenage years? Yes, it's out there. Yes, a lot of young people are doing it. But see, if your ass was in a structured household with a husband, because none of them have husbands, and if they do have any type of dude, that motherfucker ain't worth a damn because he ain't helping them raise them kids. If you got a structured, disciplined system in there, your children don't even think about doing that. They think about doing things that kids are supposed to do. And no, getting high ain't one of the things that children are supposed to be. You just got a parent saying, oh, well, all he just do is just smoke weed. How you know that's all he do? How you know he don't own a gun? How you know he ain't gang banging? What, cause he told you so? Boy, let me tell you something. If this is the best that a household has for a parent, that household is doomed. And you understand that white men, when they see this, the ones that control the system and the white women, they laugh at this because they're like, we got you right where we want your dumb ass. Oh my God, family. Like I said, man, we got to make sure that this is not something that we just take lightly and just be like, oh, that's just a hood rats. No. 2024 need to be the year that we take a strong stance against this. And damn it, if I have to be the one to put that on my shoulders and lead the charge, then I'll do it. I don't have no problem about making enemies. I'm not the popular guy. I don't say shit to tickle people's ears. If I have to be the one to lead the charge on that, I will do it. Let's let it continue.
That's what he do. My son don't disrespect me. He don't talk back to me. He understands constructive criticism. Because when my son asks me to do something and I tell him he can't do it, I don't just say, no, you can't do it because I said so.
Right.
But that's the household I grew in. Mm-hmm. No, you can't do it because I said so. But in my mom's mind, she had her reason why I couldn't do it. I tell my son, like...
she never elaborated with
exactly. So I'm going to give y'all an example. My son has friends that like to rap, so they go into the studio. My son's only 16 years old. My son will call me and be like, Mom, can I go to the studio? What adult's going to be there? Nobody. Who going there? Me, so-and-so and so-so. Him and 4 other teenagers. And I call my son Pop-Up. I said, Pop-Up, you can't do that. Mommy don't feel comfortable with you doing that because if something goes left, I'm not there and no adult is there to represent you guys. If anybody comes in there and do anything to you, I don't know exactly who has beef, where the beef transpired from. I don't know what to tell these people if something happens to you. I go into detail with my son as to why I said no, so he has an understanding that mommy's not just being mean or trying to be controlling or trying to run your life or take you away from being a stranger. It's coming from a place of protection because mommy loves you.
I'm giving you exactly.
Okay, so now I will give her credit about what she just said. She said something that made some sense here. I'll be fair and give credit where credit is due, but I have to add something to that. Yes, it's not just enough just to tell a child no. That's part of it, but you do need to explain in an intelligent and honest manner why what you're saying is a bad idea. Because see, just like I've gave the example many times on this channel over here about if you've got a security guard or somebody that's trying to guard you as like a bodyguard or what have you, the security guard has to have the proper skills and to know how to do it. But the other half of the equation is you cooperating with that security guard so that they can protect you. They can't protect you if you don't cooperate with what they're telling you. So she got that part right. But the other part of that must go into this, there are certain things that if your parents tell you no on, you don't question them. Why? Because you have a respect for your parents. And that doesn't mean that they might not explain it to you later. But see, she's missing that part because I'm going to tell you why. I can tell by how she and the rest of them going to be talking here. They focus on more trying to be their children's friends than their damn parents. Because see, look at their demeanor themselves. You heard them say it. They've got the same interests as their children. See, you just let that sink in for a minute. These grown-ass women, all of them got kids, but they got the same interests as their children, like down on their level. I'm not talking about just doing a family activity together, but they're in the same. Look, you can see how they dress. These big overgrown heifers are dressed like teenagers. Do you know how out of place this looks? See, we don't call this out enough, but don't worry. I'll be the one to do it. Let's let it continue.
The reason why I
correct
feel like you shouldn't do it.
I don't
just saying no.
No.
I don't cut corners.
Our mama just said no.
Hello,
no.
that's how much.
No.
You can't do it. Throw the credit card away.
And by you saying that I can't do it, it's
Makes
just gonna
me
make me want to do it. So I went and did it anyways and fucked around and found out.
And
Right.
listen, and hello, that's
Yeah.
how I ended up. I mean, I ended up pregnant because I was fucking. Let's just get it clear.
Yeah,
but
fucked around and found out.
My mom never had conversations with me about sex.
Yeah.
It never happened, like at all. It was just always, no, you can't. Can I go to no? Can I spend the night? No. Can I go to no?
She probably didn't know how to explain it to you.
Correct. So you know, like
It was more.
Salute to Project Leroy for the cash up. And see, family, let me tell you something else that none of these helpers don't realize up here with they rough looking asses. Boy, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to go in on them personally, but I can't stand the damn hood rats. This is what they don't realize. They sitting up here talking like this and they got children on the internet. Fool, don't you know that your son and daughter's peers see this? See, I covered this a couple years back. Well, when, the OnlyFans thing took off, a lot of people like, ooh, I'm getting the bag, I'm getting my coins. Okay, well, you got children whose other peers are picking on them because your goofy, whorish ass is up here too damn lazy to do anything else to get money. So you up here thotting and trotting around, and now some of your kids is committing suicide because of your damn turbo thottery. Oh, but see, that's not important. Get the bag by any means necessary, huh? Even if you're doing something that make your child feel so ashamed because they're being bullied at school that they end up killing themselves. Let me tell you something right now, man. Nothing breaks my heart worse than hearing stories about a young child that hadn't even started living life yet, killing themselves. That's supposed to be something unheard of. You hear me, family? Do you hear me? A child that's 12, 10, whatever, killing themselves, that's insane. What the fuck have we gotten ourselves into in society today where that's normalized? You hear me? So I'm showing you this is not a victimless crime. This is a very serious issue. And like I said, in case anybody think that I'm just being harsh, just wait, you ain't heard nothing yet.
Because her mom probably,
and I know she cared.
How they be like, you'll understand when you're older, but
hello, but help me.
Explain it to her.
Hello, help me.
Even if you gave us a little bit of an insight on it, then later on,
because you ain't
that's what mama was saying.
Right, hello, but you ain't never asked your mom like, why? And they say, because I said so.
I ain't asked my mama why, because she was going with my ass.
Yeah, they was going with
Like, but mom, why can't I? Because I said so.
I just said all right, and I still wouldn't did it anyways.
You get what I'm saying? So that's what happened to me. Like, I wasn't allowed to go nowhere. My friends was going to birthday parties, little clubs, this and that. I couldn't do it. So the moment that I got outside, everything that all the kids was doing that I thought was fun, I wanted to do, they was already fucking. Bitch, I want to fuck too. What's up with your dick? Like, what happened? So
what happened was you didn't have a father in your household. And look at this goofy health over here on the left. Just laugh. See, they laugh at ignorance is funny to them. You see this? I got this frozen on this frame for a reason. I want you to see how ignorant this motherfucker over here look. Let me tell y'all something, right? If you're a young, parent or what have you, let me tell you something you need to have in your house, okay? Yes, you got, technology, you got iPads and all this other stuff today, but never, 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 never be a black household with children that does not have a home library. I'm talking encyclopedias, all manner of books from the black grassroots of our grandmaster teachers' work. Start introducing your children to that early. And when it comes to the conversation about sex, don't give them the goofy white folks version of that. If they asking questions about it by a certain age, especially in their teenage years, you need to have a thorough, detailed discussion with them about how the human reproductive system works. You need to have a thorough, detailed discussion with them about STDs and all types of communicable diseases, whether it's subcutaneous diseases, those that are contracted on the skin, or the other version of diseases that are where you would have to be penetrating someone to be exposed to it. You need to give them thorough, detailed explanations on these things and make sure that they understand these things. Because, see, her mama failed her by just saying, just don't do it. No, that's not enough. You have to give somebody a reason because, see, here's something that's common across all races of human beings. Human beings are curious by nature. If somebody just keep telling you not to do something, not do something, not do something, sooner or later you're going to get curious. So you have to make it make sense why you're saying not do something, okay? Because, see, like I said, the minute that they start inquiring about things, you need to start educating them. Because if you don't, they're going to get the education from somewhere, and it's not going to be in the proper context, which will lead to them, like the helper over here on the right. I fit the man and found out. And then look what you did. You created a cycle of the same ignorance that was inflicted upon you. See, that's the sad thing about it. They keep this cycle going. Ignorance begets ignorance, okay? So we got to break that cycle of ignorance with the only thing that can counter it, which is intelligence. You understand? Ignorance cannot abide intelligence. This is why, as black people, we need to value that. We need to celebrate the intelligent amongst our communities, especially in our young ones, okay? And see, let me tell you something. One of the things that you want to see me get pissed off, let me hear a grown-ass adult telling a child they ain't shit or they ain't gonna be shit. Nobody in our family ever talked to the children in our family that way. So if I ever see that, man, that burned me up, man. Don't you never tell no black baby what they not gonna be. Damn it, if they look like they're not gonna be something, then if you recognize that, make it your job to start teaching them so they can become something. That's what you do if you worth a damn as an adult. And anytime I've ever heard anybody do that, let me tell you something, dude. It took everything on this planet and outside of it to restrain myself, because that's the most cruel thing you can do. A young black mind, a young child's mind in general, but we talking about our community. A young mind is impressionable. A young mind, that's the time when you can teach them new languages. They're not held and bound by the constraints of having been set in their ways like adults are. Some of the most brilliant people on the planet are our young children that are inspired the right way. You never know what they could come up with as far as if they're being introduced to like architecture, engineering, whatever they're taking interest in, feed that child's interest. Instead of teaching them sexy red lyrics and having them twerking and got the boys out here talking about thugging and gangbanging and shit, you should be ashamed of yourself if you encouraging that behavior in children. That's wasted potential. In a child's prime, before their mind is fully developed and become bound by societal norms and things, they have exponential learning capability, meaning unlimited for those not familiar with that word. That's the time that you want to fill them with as much as you can, as much as they're interested in, okay? And see, one thing that helps encourage a child's learning is the example set by the parents. If the parents are astute and always about learning and reading, chances are if that child is in that home with you, they're going to want to take after their parents. You're supposed to be your children's first role models, not some damn entertainer on TV, okay? So just keep that in mind as we go on further analyzing this. Let's get back to it.
My second time having sex, I ended up pregnant. I was
just not there. So, bitch, I'm out here just figuring out on my own since 15, figuring it out. As life goes, as my life went, bitch, I was figuring it the fuck out.
So while you was figuring it out, what you mean by that?
Why I was figuring it out? Because
at 15?
I don't know. My mom was, well, I do know. Her ass left and went back to Georgia.
Now, what they're about to get into now, okay, they're about to get into their personal situations as far as their upbringing. Now, this part of the broadcast is very important. Family, I'm glad that they put this online because, see, a lot of times when men say something about this or whatever, or even some of the on-code sisters say something about it, people tend to think that you just being hyperbolic, you exaggerating. No. These are the products of lost confusion right here. When I tell you that they didn't have a chance in hell with what they're about to describe, y'all, I can't even put that into words. In fact, I'm not even going to try. I'm going to let them tell you themselves. Prepare to take notes on this because, see, this is the future that you want to make sure that your young girls and your young boys understand that this ain't it right here. Let it continue.
Her ass left and went back to Georgia and left me and my brother down here with my other sister. And bitch, she got 2 kids of her own. Bitch, my girl is living life. I can't do shit with these 2 motherfuckers. So bitch, that led him to figure it out on his own. And that led me to figure out on my own. We both went down some dark paths, but his path was way darker than mine, friend. I ain't gonna speak on that because it ain't my business. But his shit just went, thank God. Ooh. Anyways, but yeah, 15, sister got 2 kids. She can't really do too much because bitch, she got to take care of her household and her kids. So now what? I'm figuring it out. Now what? Older niggas got more than the little niggas that's my age, which I'm 15. What the fuck can this 15, 16-year-old boy do for me? Nothing. Bitch, I need school clothes, I need money, I need my hair done, I need this, I need that. So what you gonna resort to?
Do y'all hear this foolishness? Let's keep it real. All of us in here, especially if you around my age as a Gen X or what have you, and even before that, let's just keep it real. Coming up in school, that's exactly what you saw. A lot of the younger girls were trying to, run after these older guys, and a lot of older guys were trying to get after the younger girls, okay? That's a reality. That's across generations. We've seen that. Now, you hear her talking about she need all this money to get stuff done. Okay, helpful, where was your parents? Because if you basically trying to say that what they giving you wasn't enough, then that means your little young ass ain't had no business trying to get all that stuff. You 15 and trying to worry about getting shit like a grown woman? Huh? But see, I'm not going to get into too deep in that yet. I'm going to let her tell you what her situation was. And when I tell you, like I said before, that they didn't have a chance in hell, you're going to see what I'm talking about. Because see, you can just listen to how she sounds. Listen to how she sounds. You can't do nothing with this. And I got to say it for what it is, fellas. If you run across one of these, go in the other direction. Ain't nothing you can do for this. It's too far gone. Look, the only way that you could help somebody like this out, they would have to want to educate themselves and get their minds up to an adult level. Because see, make no mistake, she still got the mind of a 15-year-old. Oh, if you think I'm wrong, just wait. I'm going to let you hear it for yourself.
So what you know. And they was doing shit for me, and yeah.
And doing shit to her.
And they weren't just giving me the money just because I want to give it to you, but
they was molesting her.
I was giving it up willingly, but since I was underage, so that's molestation. I'm not gonna say it because I wanted to do it, but I knew
you did it out of necessity.
Yeah, I did it because that's what I felt like I needed to do to get to get to the shit that I needed. Because who the fuck else was doing it?
Right.
And mama, out of sight, out of mind. Daddy, out of sight, out of mind. Sister here, but bitch, she got her own shit going on, so therefore I'm finna figure it out, and this is the way that I figure it out.
Okay, so
Now, you heard what she described the situation was. Her parents weren't worth a damn. Her mama wasn't around. Daddy wasn't around. Family, this is why when we start families, you got to be serious about that. Let me tell you something, man. If you know you're not ready for that, don't have no kids. Have all the sex you want. Just make sure you protecting yourself and taking the proper measures that you don't bring a new life into the world. Because, see, this is how she became what she is. She didn't have anybody to give her that structure. So what else was she going to become but this? There's no good outcome for that. When you bring a child into the world, you're responsible for that child for bare minimum 18 years. And if you're really a responsible parent, even after they're grown, your children are always going to be your children. You're always supposed to be there to provide insight and wisdom to them if they need you. Let me tell you something right now. I've said it before. If I ever needed to call my father for anything, even at this age, I could pick up the phone and call him, man. You understand? Had a good conversation with Pops, you know what I'm saying, just earlier today, fact, the business. But see, when you do this right here, this is who you hurt, the children, because no child has to be brought into the world, okay? No child. So now she's going to further explain her situation and see, look, like I said, man, I hate that for her, but where she is right now, you more of a detriment to the community, especially if you running around out here steady repeating the same cycle that you yourself found yourself in. And see, let me say something to the young men and women that find yourselves in them situations, because I have compassion for my people. I do. Let me say something to you. Just because you had that upbringing, that should motivate you to say, okay, listen, when I get to the age where I'm deciding to start a family, I'm going to make sure that my children don't ever have to know what that's like, not to grow up without a father or a mother. You understand? That should motivate you to say, I'm going to go out my way to make sure that my children going to have parents, okay? So you have to, that's some encouragement for you, but at the same time, you have to take accountability to say, okay, I'm not going to repeat the cycle that was done to me, because think about it. You didn't like it. You look at all the things that you had to go through by not having parents. So don't inflict that onto your own children. Love your children before they get here more than your parents loved you. If you had this young lady's situation right here, let's let it continue.
Let me ask you this. So being that was where you came from, and that's what you went through, what you felt like you had to go through. Would you say that any of those things that happened to you haunts you, or you feel guilty about it, or you feel any kind of way?
Guilty? Guilty, no. I don't feel guilty about shit that I done ever fucking did, and it don't haunt me to this day, because it's like, it is what it is.
Wrong. You may not feel guilty about anything, but it does haunt you. And case in point, look at your situation now. See, that's the tragic thing about, these types of broken chicks like this. They don't understand how broken they are. Yes, it does haunt you, because look at you. Look. Lord, I'm trying not to punch down. Let me say it this way. It does haunt you because the outcomes that you have for your life and just the way you speaking, that says a lot about your thought process and how you stuck in a state of arrested development at 15. That's where she still is. You can tell by how this woman speaks. She still got the mind of a teenager. That means you ain't got no business trying to have no kids, but she already has them. You see how this cycle just go back to back to back like that. That chain and that cycle has to be broken, and the only way that we can do that is by, one, making sure that, we make responsible decisions before we become parents, and number two, we got to stop acting like this shit is cute. I posted a YouTube short. Y'all probably saw the one where, I titled it Gas Station 10 with a question mark. Do you know one Negro actually had the nerve to come over there under that damn post and argue with me talking about, oh, well, I don't know GPS, I got the degree. Cause compared to the lot lizard, well, she look better than them. I'm like, nigga, you don't understand that that's what she was saying she was. She is a damn lot lizard. Y'all go check that YouTube short out. But see, these are the type of Negroes I'm talking about. Because the woman got a big ass set of titties up there. That's the first thing he looking at instead of trying to listen and catch the reason why I posted the damn short in the first place. Hell, if you didn't comprehend what she was telling you, because Gas Station 10, that's white folks terminology. All he had to do was look in the comments. Because it was a couple of sisters that didn't know what that meant too, and I understand because, hey, that's white folk slang. But you go look up that YouTube short. But see, let me tell you something, fellas. That low vibrational thing and just looking at what a woman physically look like, that can lead you to making some of the worst decisions in your life. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, by the time we reach a certain age as men, we supposed to have conquered that damn lust in us, okay? Lust is not supposed to lead no fully grown man. That's for little boys that hadn't mastered knowledge of self and discipline of self yet, okay? I'm not preaching to you as if I'm self-righteous or I'm some perfect individual, but one thing I don't have is no damn kids running around all over here, all over the place by heifers like this. Oh, no, and that's not going to happen. No. But anyway, I want y'all to listen to her explaining what her upbringing was like so you can see how she came to be who she is, and the other one's going to talk about her situation as well. Let's let it continue.
But I do think about the shit, and I be like, damn, I really was talking to this man that's like such and such, all these 20 plus years older than me. Like, what the fuck? It made me feel
or dirty.
Back then,
or slutty.
I didn't give a fuck. It didn't make me feel nasty. It didn't make me feel slutty. It didn't make me feel like, cause bitch, I was about my shit then. But years done passed and I got older. I sit back and I done looked on them like, damn, like it made me feel less of a woman. It made me feel disgusting. I felt like
you wasn't a woman. You was a little girl. You jumped out there and your childhood was stolen from you because you didn't have parents to instill any type of self-respect in you. You hear, see, look, everything about how she's describing and referring to herself is all out of context. She don't even realize that. And see, again, I got to point this back out. The way she's talking with her low level of intelligence and education, this is what white folks want to mass produce. Do you understand me? Because her counterpart would be somebody like Blueface. And even though he got money, let me tell you something, dude. What the hell are they going to produce in society that's going to be a benefit to black society? Let's just call it what it is, man. Oh, I'm hurting some people's feelings. I know I am, but it is what it is. Somebody got to say this. Somebody got to say it. Because, see, sometimes all it takes to change the trajectory of a society is for somebody to be bold enough to speak the damn truth without worrying about hurting people's feelings. We at a point in our hour of our history right now where we can't be worried about feelings no more. We got to talk business and solutions. We don't have time. That's not a luxury we can afford. Biting our tongue because, man, you shouldn't have said it like that, man. No, fuck all of that. I love my people too much to bite my tongue. I'm not going to be quiet on things like this, okay? So now, with her situation, she, like I said, she doesn't even realize how damaged she was when her childhood was basically robbed from her because she didn't have proper parental guardians and protectors to keep her from being lured out there into them damn streets. You understand? And see, again, I'm glad that they're putting their experience out here because, young ladies, if you listen to me, this is what you don't want to become. And see, here's the toxic part about heifers like this. They'll sit here and recite all this stuff that they're talking about. But see, this is why I want to encourage my young sisters listening to this broadcast tonight, whether it's live or recorded. A lot of this applies to some of you because some of you, and I know some young ladies that fit this description. You ain't out here in them streets. You intelligent. You got a good head on your shoulders. You in school on your way to college. Okay. You ain't got no kids. Probably hadn't even had no type of sexual encounter yet. Don't you know heifers like this that have already fucked up their life? They want you to join them. So they're going to be your biggest haters out here. You understand? There's a proper term context or proper context for the word hater. Those would be your biggest haters. They'll be like, look at that bitch. She ain't fucked up her life at that age like I did. Let me get her out here to get drunk. Let me get over here to get high smoking this weed and bring her around some dusty, no good niggas. So hopefully she'll live with them. And hey, we can have another turbo thought in the circle. See, instead of trying to prevent young ladies from getting out there, these helpers will actually try to recruit more. You, as a young black woman, if that description fits what I just said fits you, where you hadn't jumped out there yet, don't you ever be ashamed of you standing your ground and continuing on the path that your parents set you on. Okay? Don't let peer pressure draw you out there and you end up with their future because that's over for them. Let me tell you why I say that. there's no man worth a damn coming for either one of them. You understand me? I got to say it like it need to be said. You sit here and put yourself in their situation, you gonna get their outcome and their results. Young ladies, start looking at your life like, okay, I see what they're doing. Yes, you might think it's fun, but start asking yourself this: will fun cost me the outcomes that I want to have for my life in the future? That's the question that you got to start asking yourself. Let's let it continue.
Like, well, I didn't feel like I was degrading myself, but yeah, I just felt like, bitch, you did that.
Don't look at me. I didn't do it.
Yeah, that's how I felt. So yeah, it did make me feel that way. But back then, I didn't give a fuck about that shit.
So how? Okay,
I didn't
how
care.
would you say? Not to cut you out, but what would you say helped you through getting past those feelings that you had once you did sit and you reflected on the things that you did in the past? What helped you through that?
Life and...
Y'all, I got to point this out because I know y'all already see it. And I'm not trying to be cruel, but I'm doing this because somebody got to say this, because most people that will get a hold of this, they're not going to point out what I'm about to say. Remember when I told you that she still has the mind of a 15-year-old? Look at her mannerisms. She rocking back and forth and basically carrying on like she's a child because she is still stuck in a child's mind frame. This is so sad to see, man. I hate this, dog. I ain't gonna lie, man. I hate this. This is not something that we can allow to be thought of as if this is normal for you to be this way, because see, if white supremacy has its way, this is what they want for the future of our young black sisters out here. And the flip side will be having the young black boys out here on the path to an early grave if they can help it. You understand? I want y'all to just watch her mannerisms, how she talk, man, and tell me if these are the mannerisms of an adult. Let it continue.
Also, having somebody in my corner that did not judge me for the shit that I have done over time, and talking to me and really breaking shit down to me. Like, I got a thick skull. Thick skull. So, bitch, by that person just sitting down and breaking the shit down to me over time, not just all at one time, but over time, over months, over years, bitch, you done been talking to me, telling me shit. Something gonna motherfucking click. Y'all wanna know who that person is? She's sitting right next to me.
Hey y'all.
Hey y'all.
I didn't ask her that question because I thought she was gonna say that. I didn't know what she was gonna say. I just asked her that question. I asked her that because we've been through, just like a lot of other people in the world, we've been through so much shit, and when you don't have any guidance, especially not just women, just men too, because men be more fucked up than women. Y'all don't like to admit it, but y'all do. But
let's pause that right there and let's talk about that. Because see, what I'm gonna also be drilling down on in this new year, fellas, okay, that we in here, we at the beginning of 2024. When women make statements like this, being just as fucked up as women too, you gonna make a distinction between which men you talking about. I'll be damned if you gonna put brothers that are decent, upstanding, upwardly mobile in the same category as these damn Pookies and Ray Rays and these homosexuals. We gonna make them fellas say which men you talking about. Gone are the days where you just say men and you put every man in the same category. You gonna address who you talking about, okay? Because most of the brothers that's over here in my chat, I know damn well y'all don't fit that description. I know some of you personally. I ain't gonna put your business out there. But I know what's over here in my chat room. I understand the career paths that y'all are on. It's same for the sisters as well. But we finna start drawing lines of demarcation in the sand. Ladies, I would suggest you do the same as well with these heifers out here trying to group y'all all in the same group. Because see, when you hear those of us like myself calling them turbo thoughts and everything else we call them, stop putting the cape on for them. That's what they are. They are separate and apart from decent, upstanding black women. I hate that their childhoods were the way they were, but unless they gonna change their situation, that's not an excuse for them to damage the whole of society because you had it bad. When you become an adult, you can make your own decisions. You can create the life that you want for yourself. And then the greatest joy of all will be giving your children the things that you did not have as far as a proper, stable family structure, okay? And she talking about the person that made her make things click, and it was so sad how she, I got a thick skull. And you talking about the person that gave you advice, she just as messed up as you. But see, let's deal with that part about men being just as messed up. Oh, yes. Brothers like me, I'm gonna put my foot on their neck too. If y'all, what I always tell y'all, if you an older nigga out here, call yourself trying to date anything in the teens, 18, 19, you part of the damn problem. Your ass is a pedophile. You ain't got no business going after nothing teen. That's our teenager for a reason, okay? So yeah, I'm gonna put my foot on their necks because we like I said on my community tab, if you got a car with 4 flat tires and you only fix 2 tires on either side, you still have a car with a mobility issue. We got problems on both sides of the community, the men and the women. So it's not all one side or the other. It's problems on both halves of the community that needs fixing. And see, until somebody actually shines a light on that and those of us that are on code come together and realize that, okay, as black men, we need to be on top of our game, handling the things that we're supposed to handle amongst the young boys and the other men. And the women got to be on top of their game, handling things with the young sisters and the older women. When we both operate at our full capacity in our natural roles, that's where you start fixing and come up with solutions with the problems within the community. Because see, until you get what's on the inside straightened out, that's a weakness for white supremacy to exploit. And in case you think I'm reaching about that, I'm finna give you something to think about in case you never have. Right now, when it comes to politics, I got to go here because I want y'all to see how real what I'm saying is so that you don't think I'm just punching down on them. Right now, when it comes to politics, particularly that damn Democratic Party, when they got ready to talk politics, who did they go and talk to? Did they go talk to a Dr. Claude Anderson? Did they seek out the wisdom of a Neely Fuller Jr., one of our grandmaster teachers still with us? Did they go and seek out the wisdom of a Shahrazad Ali? Did they go out and seek out the wisdom of anybody that you can name that's well respected on the black grassroots, or do they go get Cardi B? Do they go get Nicki Minaj? Do they go sit up and talk to Plies, little Geico lizard face ass, and I'm gonna burn his ass? I saw that stuff y'all been sending me. I got some for him. Oh, just stay tuned. I got some for Mr. Plies and other people. That broadcast is coming. Oh yes, I'm gonna lay into him. Cause see, I done had enough of that. This is gonna be the year that I put my foot on them rappers' necks when they step out of turn, speaking ignorance. So just stay tuned for that broadcast. My point that I'm making is they don't go and seek out the most intelligent amongst us. They go talk to them. Look at any of the news reports that you see when they do go talk to a black person. They pick the most ignorant person they can find and put them up there on the camera. Again, this goes back to the power of imagery because they want young black society to see, this is all you ever gonna be. And you know the lie they always tell our people, oh, we got everything for them. Let white people tell they created all the inventions in this country. Oh, we didn't do nothing. We were just picking some cotton on a farm somewhere, you know what I'm saying, back on a plantation, to let them tell the history. This is why it's important for you to have a strong command of history and not just know it, but pass it down to your children so they have a strong foundation of who we are as a people and what's within your personal family history. See, you can't do that, though, and have fun, okay? Being a matriarch of a family requires you to be grown into that role, not trying to revert back to your teenage years and compete with the younger children coming up. You can't do that. Your mind shouldn't even be set to try to do that, okay? So I'm just pointing out the importance of that. This is how they weaponize those like this in the community. They go and get them and make them the face of our people, and they'll put them up there, have them speaking for something important like reparations, with not a damn brain cell in their damn head on an important decision for the entire community. But they can only do that if we stand by and let it happen, family. Let's get back to it.
When you don't have no guidance, you end up going through all this stuff in life.
Which I feel like if you would have had the guidance there, then you could have skipped over that shit.
All that
bullshit. Because you would have known. You would have knew better.
So that's why I asked her that.
So I knew. It's not that I did not know that the shit was wrong, but what else solution you have besides that?
I think that, personal opinion, but I think that it was such a normal thing. It was such a normal, and people like to sit here trying to act like that shit wasn't. It was normal before my time. My mama was pregnant at 14, and her mama probably was pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So it was going on long before.
And they been fucking with older niggas.
Yeah, long before that. I mean, when the guys that we talked to, they 30, 33 and 30. 40, no, 30, what you talking about now? I'm talking about now.
Late
30. My guy is 33 and he's late 28, 29, something like that, early 30s. And we roughly all around the same age. And they even said it when they was in school, in high school. The girls they couldn't even get the high school bitches because the bitches was getting picked up by the older niggas in the cars.
Yeah.
So how you gonna?
That's exactly what I just addressed, family, because she telling the truth about that. She's honest about that. That was going on in my generation, in the boomers generation. Okay. See, we didn't just get here overnight. There was progression behind that. And the reason that I'm pointing it out is when you start trying to fix a problem, you think about like, okay, if you're trying to fix something on a car, or if you're trying to fix something in your house, like an appliance or something, you have to first do a diagnosis and get an understanding of how you got to that point, how that particular thing that you're trying to fix, what is the cause of the problem, okay? So this is why studying things like this is germane, because she's telling the truth there, okay? She's right. That is a pervasive problem. And see, this is where it comes into having a code in a society, where when you see things like that going on, you don't just turn and look the other way. But see, that's where our society has gotten. Everybody, really, it ain't my business. Oh, yeah? It's going to be your business when this heifer sitting up here and pop out Pookie and Ray Ray's kids that's a terror to the damn community. You going to wait till that happen? Then it be your business? Oh, yeah. See, I said something most people ain't going to say, but I got to tell the truth about it. Okay? Because, see, in a household like this, y'all just call it what it is. We got too many households like this. If they got little sons, by the time they get of a certain age, there ain't no man there to check them when they start smelling themselves. They're going to run all over their mother in their household and be all out in the streets doing all kinds of things. And they don't get me started on the girls. Y'all already know we've already covered that here tonight. Okay? So see, this is why we cannot normalize these damn broken homes. I get it. Things don't always work out in a marriage or whatever. People married, they go their separate ways, things don't work out. But at least make the attempt to have a stable, normal family. If you don't make the damn attempt, you set yourself up for this crap, okay? And we don't need no more of this in our community. We just don't. You cannot thrive in a community where this is the greater majority of what's raising the next generation of the community. It's just not going to work. There's no way. Look, if you wanted to destroy a stable nation, you take this crap that they promote to us and put it anywhere on the planet. Watch how fast that damn nation and community go down. See, I'm putting it in broader context so you understand that this is not harmless. This ain't fun. This is killing our community. Let's let it continue.
You can't compete with that. So this is not something that just started. This is something that's been going on. It's more frowned upon now
because it's more publicized.
Yeah, but it was so normal to us back then to where it was like it was just another way of life. And then not only that, we was groomed to be. We made a video about it. It was a very short little clip, but modern prostitution. And people like to try to frown upon or try to make it seem like it's not happening, but yes, it did. So for the people that was out there and live a certain particular life and you overcame a lot of that shit, kudos to you. And bitch, yes, you deserve a fucking cookie.
Bitch, you deserve your flowers.
Yes, because it's hard. It's very fucking hard to go from something that you knew and that you're familiar with to a whole different train of thought. And the hardest thing for you to change is your mind.
Yeah.
Now, let me pause it right there and give y'all something that can help you change the minds of the young ladies. Let me tell you something. I've said this many times over here, and I will continue to say it. And I, too, am an advocate for all Black Americans to have passports. Yes, I said it. I ain't talking about passport bros. I'm saying all Black adults should have a passport. Why? Because, see, the greatest education you will get is travel. You take your children and show them things outside of just that little city block that they live in, okay, or the little town they stay in. You put your pennies together, you take family vacations, expand your children's minds so that they have more to aspire to than the foolishness that's around them, okay? See, when you do that and you take your children to different places, and especially, for example, if you got a child, and let's just say that child is always talking about, I don't know, pick any city in America. Let's just say D.C., for example. I always want to go to Washington, D.C., this, that, the third. Let's just say you got a child talking like that. Make it your business to make that trip happen as a family. Take your child there and educate their mind. Let them get a chance to see things outside of where they live. Because, see, for these two women right here, you can tell they didn't get a chance to get outside of where they were in that neighborhood because that lit their products of their environment, unfortunately. Okay? So that's very important to form families and do things together as a family that inspires and educates your children, so that when you're not around your children, because nobody can be with their child 24/7, you've already instilled a different thought process into their minds, like she was saying, okay? Because that's something I agree with her there, right there. Do you change your mind and your thought process, your whole life change. So what you need to do is instill the foundation into their minds that never leads them down that path. See, if you do that the right way, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a product of what I'm talking about. If you instill the right things in a child's mind early on, there's a strong rejection to the things outside of that teaching. You be like, nah, I already know where I'm going to end up if I do this. Y'all can do what you want, but I'm not doing that. And see, here's the number one thing that you better start instilling in your children from a very early age. My father was majorly responsible for instilling this in me as a young child. Do not be a damn follower. You make up your own decision about what you want to do. Don't never be the type of person that just go along with the damn crowd. You be proud to be unique and be original and be who you are. Because a lot of time going along with the crowd, that oftentimes, especially when you're young, that's got a bad outcome, especially if they didn't have parents to actually instill in them the proper guidance for them not to be doing all type of stupid and reckless things. And that there's no such thing as a perfect child. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you have to lay that foundation there so that your children be like, okay, yeah, all right, I'm having fun, but this is as far as I go. I'll holler at y'all. Y'all gonna have to catch up with me. I'll hear about it tomorrow, but I can't go down that route with you. Okay. See, and see, you have to have that relationship with your child where they're not afraid to come to you and talk to you about things. And you want to make sure that they understand that you're a team as a family, okay? Because see, let's call it what it is. A family is also a team. Whatever family you got in your household, it's supposed to be y'all against everything outside of their household, okay? So you got to foster that type of loving and healthy environment so that your children will trust you with certain things, and hopefully you're on your job making sure you educate them about a lot of things before they even encounter it, okay? You don't want to wait till things creep up on them and then start educating them. A lot of times that might be too late, because if they don't get the education from you, they're going to get it from outside your household. Let's let it continue.
We've been working on that.
Your mind can't change unless you want it to.
For so fucking long. We've been working on that shit for so long. So that's why I asked her those questions, because y'all always say y'all don't really know us personally, but we be having so much to say. And we can speak from a lot of experience, being that we are so young. And it sucks. That shit fucking sucks. To be able to talk about this stuff and understand the things that we understand at the age that we are.
Because, like, really, the average 25, a guy told me this. He was like, he got a daughter the same age as me, and his daughter.
I want y'all to listen to what she's about to say, because this shit is going to chill y'all to your soul. I'm telling you. I'm gonna play this. I'm not going to say a mumbling word. I want y'all to really pay attention to what she's about to describe about this guy she talking about that say he got a daughter the same age as her.
Got a mind of a fucking 15-year-old, 16, 17. Her mind is like her age. A fucking child. So him at talking 25? To me at 25, like, she's still like, do childish shit, like
make childish decisions.
Right.
She living in her age.
She living in her age. So he was like talking to me. It was like he thought I was older than what I was. And I'm like, cause I done been through so much, and we went to talking and whatever. And he like, that's why I see the difference between you and my daughter. Not because like how you look and shit like that, but bitch, yeah, no, you surpassed my motherfucking daughter.
And that was against my fucking will. So when kids be and people, everybody gonna raise their kids and feel how they feel about their kids. And this is not to say you should feel this way or I want you to feel this way. I just feel how I feel. And I don't feel like I owe my kids shit but the life that I gave you. And that's it, that's all.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. See, notice that they keep saying, I feel. Let me tell you something. Yes, we know that women are more attuned to their emotions than men, and men are supposed to be more logical and thinkers. But at some point, you got to stop talking about what you feel and start talking about what you think. The world doesn't operate off your fucking feelings. It operates off of your thought processes and the thought processes of other people, okay? That's what the decisions in the world are made on thoughts, not feelings. You make decisions off of feelings in the world and you get chewed up and spat out. I feel, and then you gonna make the statement talking about, I feel I don't owe my children other than anything but the life I gave them. What kind of life did you give them? Because I guarantee you, listen to the way they talking, you didn't give them much. You didn't give them much because you don't know much to give them. What? Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. How you gonna give somebody something when you don't have nothing to pass down other than continuing with the lifestyle that you have, okay? So I take umbrage with that situation right there. But see, you heard what she said about, the other one over here on the left, talking about the guy she was dating, okay? Talking about, his young daughter that's like her age or whatever at that time when she was dating him. She thinks that she's grown because she's been through a bunch of traumatic experiences. No, that don't make you grown because as y'all can clearly see, she's got the mind of a child. So that dude was telling her things just to get in her draw, but she hadn't figured that out yet. Yeah, see, I have to give it to you raw over here. I want my people to do better, okay? That's why I'm doing this. Let's let it continue.
But as morally, I'm going to give you everything that I didn't have. That don't mean materialistic shit. That means the guidance and the structure that I did not have, I'm going to give
that shit outweigh that materialistic shit any day.
Any day. That's why your fucking kids out here thinking 2 + 2 is green. Okay?
But got on Gucci and Louis and Fendi and all that other extra shit.
So I always said I was going to do that for my kids because, that's the least that I could do. Because you did come into this world. You didn't ask to be here. But guess what? The minute, because my oldest daughter hit me with that, I didn't ask to be here. You had me. And I bust back with her ass. I didn't ask to be here either. My mama had me.
You hear this sorry helper right here? Let me tell you something. That's the sorriest answer that a parent can give to a child. Well, I didn't ask to be here either. My mama just had me. Helper, you supposed to be better than that. If you know that you had a traumatic or dysfunctional upbringing, you gonna replicate that for your child? But see, listen to how she talking. You can already tell she got a husky, masculine demeanor about herself. Ain't no man worth a damn gonna pair bond with neither one of them. Cause see, look, let me say it like it need to be said. Yes, as men, yes, we look at women's attractiveness as far as how they look physically. But being a woman, what do I always tell y'all about? The titles, not just the words, the title of woman and man. Those are earned, honorable titles. There's more to a woman than your damn looks and what you can do with your mouth and twerking and all this other, twerking on handstands, all this other stuff you talking about doing in the bedroom. There's more to a woman than that. If that's all you got, you're not much of a damn woman. You're not. If you don't have the basic skills of how to nurture and prepare a home, to educate the children in it, okay, to make sure that you instilling wisdom and guidance in those children and you carry yourself in a respectable manner where your children will, one, cooperate and listen to you, and they see that your community respects you. No, ma'am, don't you dare call yourself a woman. You hadn't graduated to that phase yet. You just a big overgrown female. That's what you are. All females are not women. Like I said, that's an earned, honorable title. You got a problem with what I said? Take it up with somebody that gives a damn because it's not me, okay? You say, give that sorry excuse to you. Because look, you got a girl too? And see, you got to understand something. That's devastating to both children, but especially a little girl that she don't have a father there. And then her mother don't, try to have any type of empathy for her. You're supposed to be the model of the type of woman that she's going to grow up to be. And see, I was about to say something. I don't think I'm going to say that. I ain't going to say that because, that I might need to put that in another broadcast. But I'll say this. There are situations where some daughters are in households where their mothers got no good Negroes in there. And then if their daughters go to say something about certain things that happen in them households, they go and take the sorry Negro side and kick the daughter out the house. Yeah, see, like, I ain't gonna go out on that. Y'all know what I'm talking about with that. And see, when that happens to a young girl that's fed out here on the streets at a young age, society is gonna eat them up. Any child, but society is gonna eat them up. They don't have no type of wherewithal about out there in the environment. They're running from a traumatic experience. And everything out there in the world, for the most part, unless you just happen upon one of God's children that has empathy for you, everything out there is going to seek to take advantage of you. Okay. If you're trying to run from a dysfunctional and traumatic upbringing, unfortunately, that's a lot of women's situation. They've had to deal with that. And bless your heart, if you have had to deal with that, I hope you're doing well. If what I said just applies to you, just remember you can make your own outcome for yourself and not let your past define you, because that was not your fault if you had an irresponsible parent that didn't protect you from no damn predators. But I'm going to leave that subject alone, fam. We're going to get back to it. Like I said, I'll have to go deeper into detail on that on another broadcast.
So you saying that shit to say what?
Nobody asked to be here.
Nobody ain't asked to be here. I don't know no fucking body who said, "Mommy, please have me." Nobody asked to be here. All right? And that's the reality of the situation. And for the people who, you know, do all this cutting up and carrying on for Christmas and all this other shit, okay, that's all fine and dandy, but what are you teaching your kids at the end of the day? What kind of guidance and structure are you giving these kids? Because we come from no structure. We come from no guidance. And we show it.
And you don't have anything to give to them. Like, you hear what she's saying? See, they don't realize that if you come from no structure and guidance, you don't have any to give to a child. You don't. You should, man, boy, you can't make this up. You just can't.
Real bad, right? We may sit here now today all together and shit, but at one point we was not. Mm-hmm. And we still working on getting our shit together, mm-hmm. right? So we going through our emotions just like everybody else. But one of the most important things that I feel like you should give your child, if you don't give them nothing else, is structure and fucking guidance, right? At this time, we pretty much know right from wrong. You pretty much got a sense of what's good and what's not good. You know this by now. And if you don't know it, it's all over social media. You got so many different people telling you the shit that's wrong and telling you the shit that's good, to where it ain't really no excuse. You got too many resources to not know something. So the fact that we didn't come from structure, we didn't come from a two-parent household. Bitch, we barely came from a one-parent household.
No motherfucking guidance and all that shit like that. I think that
if we could do it, you could fucking do it.
Hell yeah.
But it gotta be in you. I always say that.
All right, family. So now you heard them explain their upbringing and how they got to that point, which is why I entitled the broadcast what I did here. So now we got to examine the result of what happens when you are irresponsible to the point that you're responsible for young women like that having the outcome that they have as far as their lives because you made irresponsible decisions. We're going to get into what the result is, and I want you to brace yourself because, see, we finna thread several needles with this.
You know, ladies, when you have your husband or maybe even your boyfriend, some women don't have good intentions. Some women even come close to you to try to worm their way into your home to shoot a shot at your husband or your boyfriend. Case in point, what this sister's going to talk about here in her experience. Go ahead, roll that.
So this is why I don't invite people to my house, okay? I had this friend. We weren't like close friends, but we were kind of cool friends, right? So she calls me and be like, "Hey girl, I want to come spend the weekend with you." And I'm like, "Cool girl, come through." So she comes, we have an amazing weekend. Anyway, she was like, "Where's your husband?" I'm like, "Oh, he went hunting. Like, you know, it's hunting season." She comes, we spend the weekend, we have a good time. We have a good weekend, you know, we have fun. She's supposed to leave on Sunday. So on Sunday, while she's leaving, you know, we had breakfast in the house and we're about to go have brunch and stuff. So while we're having breakfast and stuff, my husband comes home from hunting. So she's like, "Hi, hello, da-da-da-da-da." And he's like, "Hello, nice to meet you." Stop there, never met before. Very important. So I'm like, "Okay, girl, you go shower, get ready to leave. You go shower, get ready to leave, then we're going to have brunch and you go. And then I'm going to go shower and stuff. And we meet in the living room, you know. I go shower and get ready to run my errands and stuff. I come out of the house. You know, the kitchen feels warm. You could tell someone had freshly cooked. And I'm just like, that's weird. But then I go to my husband's office in the house to go tell him, "Babe, I'm about to leave," you know. And before I open the door, I hear cackling. And it's this host cackling. So as I open the door, I look at my husband's table. There is a platter of food, of omelets and bread, toast, and all of that. And I'm looking at this girl. And I'm like, babe, did you make breakfast? He's like, no, she made them for me. And she's standing there. Still in her pajamas, by the way. Still in her pajamas. So I'm like, girl, I thought you were getting ready to leave. Get ready, let's go. We have to go. We have a brunch reservation and stuff. And she's like, oh, I don't think I can go. I want to go no more. You know, I haven't packed. I haven't showered. I think you should go without me. I'm like, okay, no. So if you don't think you can make brunch, how about you go shower and get ready so we can both leave the house together? And she's like, oh, it's just gonna take me along to shower. Da, 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 da. I know you have your errands, and plus I have some business questions I want to ask your husband. And I'm like, you can ask him in front of me right now and stop. Mind you, all this back and forth is going through in my husband's office. And then she starts laughing. You know, the kind of like, I'm making fun of you laugh. And she started laughing, and she's like, I just never picture you to be the insecure type. Who, me? And I'm like, girl, don't call me insecure in front of my husband. Do not do that. And she's like, oh, it's not that funny, da da da. And then my husband is like, oh, I think you should just get ready and leave. I have a lot of work to do. I don't think I can, you know, I'll be any help to you today. And so she starts walking this walk, and she's like, oh, I still never just, expected you to be the, what do you call it, to be the insecure type. And I'm like, girl, stop using that word. Stop using that word because I don't find it funny, okay? Me not wanting you at home with my husband when you've never met him, and you making breakfast for my husband, it's not being insecure, okay?
Now, before I get into
Now, let me pause it right here because, see, the reason that I'm showing you this, keep in mind that before we played this, I said this is what the result of, like, those types of terrible thoughts are. Now, the sister here that's talking, okay, the reason why we're showing this, the sister here that's talking, you heard her describe the situation there where she invited this helper over into her home around her husband, and she's talking about that behavior. Well, where do you think that behavior comes from? Those women that we just examined here, those are the types, because they know they're not going to get no man that's worth a damn. If you bring them types of women that we just covered previously in the broadcast around your husband, ladies, they going to disrespect you just like this sister here was disrespected in her household. I'm going to let Brother Phil give some commentary on it, but I got something else I'm going to add to the situation here, because it's an angle that Brother Phil didn't probably cover. I don't know if he thought of it. And the sister definitely that gave her experience here with that situation, I don't think she thought of it either. I'm going to let Brother Phil run his take on that, and then I'm going to add a potential, another potential outcome that it could have been either. I'm going to let this play.
talking about what she was saying, I saw that she had a pink pineapple. I'd never seen that before, so I had to do my research on that. Now, that pink pineapple, unfortunately, is a GMO product, a genetic modified organism. They use the sugarloaf and red Spanish pineapple to make that. So it's sweeter, but anything that's a GMO, you do not want to eat that. So sorry, leave that alone if you care about your health. That's not good for them to be playing with nature like that. Now, what this woman was saying about this so-called woman wanting to stay at her house for the weekend. First of all, why you want to stay at somebody's house for the weekend? That's something family do, not some so-called friend. And then you questioning with her husband that, okay, whatever. So the husband come back. She in her bedclothes. I don't know what her bedclothes look like. I don't know. But she in there go fix food for another woman's husband and bring it to him. Like, that, first of all, that's out of order. Why are you doing that? Like, first of all, he don't know you. Second of all, he has a wife. Or if his wife don't do it, he can go do it himself. He don't need you to do that. Then when the wife says, okay, well, sure, I'm going to go. Nah, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to ask him some business questions or whatever. Now, see, at that point, she was nice because some women would have clicked on her right then and there and say, like, what you mean I can go and just stay? You going to stay here with my husband in my house? What the hell? Like,
now, let me pause it right here. Now, most women in here got sense enough of a certain age that got sense enough to understand why you don't be having nobody cooking for your man like that as long as you able to do it, especially on this scenario in your house. Boy, she tried it, boy. Man, listen, dude. Again, I guarantee you, if you saw what the friend was like, she probably was like them helpers that we covered earlier. Okay. So now you heard Brother Phil make the comment and the sister make the comment that, the husband don't know her. I'm going to throw a twist in here. What if he did know her? And the sister here didn't know that. That's somebody he used to fool around with. See, that's another part right there that could be true. That might have been, because think about it, right? In case y'all think I'm reaching with this, and salute to Brother Phil, does excellent work, but I'm adding another possibility to this. What if that's somebody he used to mess around with and like, hey, he didn't ever tell his wife, because why would she be that comfortable? Think about it. You got some bold helpers out here, but very few women would be bold enough to try another woman in her face like that if she hadn't already had prior dealings with her husband. Yeah, see, I told y'all I was going to throw a curveball in here on this, okay? Because that very well could be a possibility. See, let me tell you something, dude. I might be right on that. I can't prove it because, see, if that was my wife, the minute that I see you started doing something untoward like that, first of all, you call yourself trying to run and bring me some breakfast, I'm going to check you. See, fellas and ladies, y'all better pay attention to what I'm about to say. If your man respects you and something like that happen, he gonna say something before you do. You know what I'm saying? We were like, hey, whoa, that's out of order. No. And then, let me tell you something, dude. If that was me and that was my wife, and one of her thotty karate friends tried that and I caught that, okay, I would have been like, listen, let me talk to you, babe. Go ahead, she gonna have to leave. I don't want her back over here no more. And because she's not going to disrespect my household and my marriage like that, okay? That's if you got a husband that actually respects you, okay? You shut that down if you love your wife. You're like, no, unless that's something, you know what I'm saying, that, okay, this is something that, is done on a routine, that somebody that worked for you or what have you, that's a different story. But now you just coming over and you going to call yourself fixing another woman's a husband a damn plate, man, you boy. Let me tell you something. You try that down here with these sisters in the South, oh, you better be ready to throw them hands. Oh, because they're going to hook them jumper cables up to your mouth, boy. You going to get some Southern soup bones thrown in your face. That you got to be mighty bold to come into a woman's house and pull that what she pulled. And then, according to like Brother Field said, we don't know what her night clothes was, but still, any type of night clothes. First of all, Helfer, why you not dressed if I'm up and dressed? And then the ultimate disrespect, oh, you go ahead, we'll stay here. See, that's why I think I'm right about that. That probably was somebody that her husband used to mess around with, and she didn't know it. So I got to throw that part in there as well. But I'm going to let Brother Phil continue here because he's going to give some very, very wise information that I advise all of y'all to take notes on. Let it continue.
Like that, what you own? And then for her to try to gaslight her and say, oh, you being insecure, like straight gaslighting her in her own house, which is horrible, right? But y'all gotta watch the people that come to your house. Let me tell you a story, true story. And as men, not all of us bite on these certain things. So a long time ago, when I was with my son's mom, she had a friend, and the friend would come around. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I remember, like. These, I was young. Some things I picked up on, but So, I'll be around, or whatever. Like my son's mom would be away. She'd be like talking to me or, rubbing my back or stuff like that. I'm like, okay, whatever. I wasn't thinking nothing of it. I was a lot younger then. But I remember one time saying, well, can I wash clothes over there? Because I needed she didn't have a washing machine, but we did. So, my son's mom went to bed, whatever. And she was like, I just stay up with Phil in here or whatever. So I just, I'm always staying up. She went to bed. And so she's in there, talking to me and everything. And, she was flirting heavy, and I'm like, she's actually straight flirting. Or it was another time she was like, come to the time she wanted to get a backpack or something for her little girl. But I'm like, there's no backpack here. Say, well, can I come in like that? I'm like, nah, And that's when I say, okay. Because, the girl was known to be a 304 actually. So you wanted to come in my house and do some 304 action with me. I'm like, nah. So I told her at the time, I said, look, I don't want her in my house no more. I was like, I'm going to tell you what she did. And I told her everything. I said, she did all that? I said, yeah. I said, I don't want to hear no more. I said, you talk to her, it's your business, but I don't want to hear. It's just that simple. And as men, that's how you kind of, now, of course, at this age in the game, I'm much older. I shut you down before you even open your mouth, right? But I was just, very, very young back then. So as a man, because the man, what I did not play was he did end up insisting that, hey, you go ahead and leave my house, right? Which that's the right way to be. But don't let any old woman in your house, ladies. If you don't know her, know her for years, that's why I tell y'all, if you're married, you need to be with somebody married, just, have a friend that's married just like you and have the same morals as you. Like, she ain't out there cheating on her husband. She's not out there doing different things. No, she's dedicated to her family like you dedicated to your family. Matter of fact, hell, y'all could be friends as married couples, the husband and wife and all that is great. But be careful who you let in your house, because some women are jealous of you. Some women, they hate you got a man. They want to bust your home up. You know what I'm saying? Or they want to do things to get you to start problems in your relationship. So you just got to be careful. Women, protect your household at all times. Don't let some woman try to come in there and worm her way in with your man.
Now, I put that in there for a reason because, see, I already reviewed early in the broadcast the 304 types. All right. That's what they'll try to do. They are disrespectful because, one, they look at a married woman that's got a husband as if, okay, she got something I don't have. And if I can, let me try to see if I can get in here and, either get what she got or disrupt their marriage at the very least. And see, let's go here with it. Okay, whether the wife had already cooked for her husband or not, that ain't the point. The point is the disrespect. Maybe she hadn't got up and got situated to start cooking yet. Either way, that is out of bounds. That is wrong. That is a violation. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I was that man, I'll be like, no. Because see, let me tell y'all something, man. If you got a good woman, emphasis on good woman, you make sure that her position is sacred. It's not supposed to be threatened by anybody. Meaning that if something like that happens, you be like, hey, whoa, that's my wife. Don't. You out of bounds for that now. Nah, and then you come in like you giggling and flirting, and then she all off in the office, kicking it with him in night clothes. Oh, hell no. Now, unless you want to break up your damn marriage, now disregard what I said. But now, if you got a good one out here in today's dating market that's worth keeping, no, man. Y'all supposed to respect each other and draw clear boundaries and say, hey, listen, if you going to be over here invited into the threshold of my home, which is a sacred space, you're going to respect this household and you're going to respect this marriage. That's the right way to do things. Okay? So now what we're going to do, we're going to examine the final product of this turbo thottery here. Now, I want y'all to listen to this because, see, this is going to be very important. And it goes all into what we were lining up here tonight about what happens when these turbo thoughts are just running around out here loose, causing all kinds of chaos in society. I'm going to play this and prepare to take notes on it.
He has to want to be a better person and actually want to take on that kind of responsibility as a man, because it's a lot of responsibility and it's easier to just act like a little boy as opposed to be a grown-ass man, because that shit is hard. It's hard. It's so hard, and I would be so thankful that I'm a woman and I was born a woman, and because it's hard, but it ain't hard like a man hard. Ooh, Lord Jesus, it ain't. I mean, you got men who just want to spend time with you and they'll pay you for your time. You could go make $1,000, $2,000 like that. Ain't nobody paying no man for his time, sweetheart. It's rare that you come across a sugar mama. It's just is what it is. So it's hard out, like it really is. So that you can't raise them to be something that they wasn't raised to be. They don't know. They have to want to step into that next level, step into that role of being a real man. And a lot of men get it confused with their age. Just because you 28 or you 30 or you 40, damn near 40 years old, but you still act childish.
Now, the irony, this is one of the women that we reviewed earlier in the broadcast. She's trying to lecture somebody on adult behavior. First of all, you can't lecture no man on how to be a man, especially if you hadn't had a decent one. Your father wasn't in your life, so you can't speak from that aspect. You don't have a husband, so you can't speak from that aspect. But see, I'm playing this to show you how the mindset of women that are damaged like that, I want you to listen to how she sees men. Because see, it's these helpers like this that'll jump online and be trying to instruct other young women when they don't have a basis to stand on. Okay, so now let me say this to the young sisters out here. You don't listen to a woman that does not have a stable family. She don't have a husband. She ain't at the very minimum in a long-term stable relationship where you can see that she's being taken care of by a good man. Y'all got to stop listening to these women out here that don't have none of the stuff that you know you would want. And then you just look at their lives and how they carry themselves. Because see, let me tell you something. Especially men in my age range, we can tell when women out here are just running around here renegading, like we say. A woman that with this type of demeanor, and y'all heard how she was talking to her homegirl in the broadcast, you can tell she ain't got no husband. Not one that's worth a damn, because ain't no man gonna put up with that type of behavior, okay? So make sure that you taking notes from the women that actually have the type of lifestyle that you want. Let's let it continue.
But you still act like a little boy. You still doing childish things. You still running around chasing my car. You still not seeing that you supposed to be a provider. You supposed to protect me. You supposed to stabilize. Like, you not seeing you. That's your job. As what my job is. But you're not seeing your job. A lot of boys not ready to step into that real man, the real man's shoes. And that just be the reality of the situation. So a lot of us women be dating these grown ass boys. And that's just what it is. And then you try to mold him and fix him and teach him how to be a man. Baby girl, baby, just accept that shit for what it is. If you want to deal with him oh so bad, deal with him on your terms. But other than that, sweetheart, you can't raise no man to be no man, because you don't even know how to be no damn man. So how you gonna raise him to be a man? How you gonna tell him what he need to be doing? And him actually being receptive of it from a woman. Now, like, they really think that, you know, being over the age of 18 and dropping dick is being a man, and it's not. But it's a lot of us that's accepting that. It's a lot of us that's just going with that because we want somebody. We just want somebody. I was in that stage where I just wanted somebody. And the reality is, I don't need nobody. Like, you don't need nobody to go through shit with. You could do that all by yourself.
And you can fail all by yourself too. See, when you carry on the type of lifestyle where you're not, you know, desirous to men to settle down with and start a family and make you a wife, you're going to have the outcome that comes along with that. And see, it'll be the same type of women that'll jump online and start making all these critiques about men, but nobody looks in the mirror and say, okay, if you attracted the type of men that wasn't worth a damn, that fit the criteria of what she's talking about, then what choices did you make to get that outcome? Because you did have a hand in creating that outcome for yourself, okay? You definitely did if you fit that description. So that's something I want y'all to keep in mind while she further talk here. Let's let her get back to it.
But having somebody, it feels good. Having somebody there with you, having somebody to talk to, having somebody to be, you know, go through all your stuff with, you know, like, that feels good. But when that somebody is not contributing to anything but just stress, you know what you gotta do. You know what you gotta do. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. That's on Mary Had a Little Lamb, because I went through the same thing. And as a female, being on the being opposite, switching the role, you being the stressor, I done been the stressor. Like, we have to figure out now that it's been brought to my attention, if I really care about this relationship and I really want to do this with you, and you really if I'm gonna go through life with anybody, I'd rather just do it with you, then of course I'm gonna correct whatever it is that's going on that I'm doing. Of course, I'm gonna take the time out to correct it. Because not only just for him, but as a woman, I shouldn't even be moving that way. I shouldn't even be doing that, whatever it is. I shouldn't be doing it. So a lot of us try to take it as him judging you or him being hard on you or he just don't understand you or whatever the case is. But in actuality, Our job is to be a woman. His job is to be a man. And
now let me pause it right here and go ahead and tackle some of what she was saying. First of all, for men and women, if you respect the person you with, neither person really have to have too much conversation on telling you how to conduct yourself. Because if you come to the table as a stable, functioning adult, that you clear on what you want in a relationship, and on both ends of the spectrum, in both genders, you're not out here trying to disrespect each other. Nobody has to pull your coattail and talk to you like you a kid if you respect your partner on either end of the equation, okay? Which goes back to the situation that we were talking about that the sister had with that disrespectful heifer up there trying to shoot a shot at her husband. See, let me be clear on something about that situation. The turbo thought was wrong, and I'm going to say this again because I want to make this clear. It don't matter what that woman did or didn't do. The overall point is that shit was out of bounds. And I don't care about none of that other bullshit where anybody trying to, what aboutism, what about that, what about that? No, wrong is wrong. And that's part of the problem in our society. When you try to point out something wrong, people start talking about what aboutism. Let me deal with this right here. Regardless of what doors that was open or wasn't open, as a man, we are the leaders of our household. So before anybody say anything about something, we step up and say, hey, this is out of bounds in my household. Okay? That's the way that's supposed to be. Right? You see, as a man, you take the lead in setting the tone for what the rules are in the house. That's how it's supposed to be in the traditional sense. But see, today, we got a lot of this new age stuff out here, and that stuff don't work. New isn't always better. The man set the overall ground rules for the household, especially if he running the table and paying all the bills. Oh, yeah, you supposed to say, hey, no, this is out of bounds. We don't do that over here. So, you know, like I said, that just kind of goes back into that situation. But see, I want y'all to listen to how she's sounding because I want the young sisters to pay attention to what you really don't want to become. Because, see, if you hang out with people that have her type of mentality, you're going to get their results, okay? So I get it that a lot of, y'all might have friends, younger ladies that are like, like my friend, she's cool, this, that, the third, you like her company. But I'll say this to you, by the time you hit a certain age, you in your mid to late 20s, you should be shifting towards your dating should be to find you a husband and a partner. And you're not going to be able to do it if you're hanging around dysfunctional people like this woman. Okay? So that's the reason why I'm showing you this, and I'm letting her speak in her own words. Let's get back to it.
The things that he needs from us, we need to be able to understand exactly what those things is and give it. The same way that he understands what it is that we need from him and he's giving it. We need to do the same thing. So if that relationship is something of some importance to you and you trying to whatever, and you really love that person and you blah, 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 then you go to that person and you say, listen, let's whatever it is I got to do for us to be where we need to be at and go beyond this situation, I'll do that because I'm taking full accountability for what it is that I did and how I made you feel. And I don't want you to feel that way because that wasn't what I was intending to do or whatever. It has to be something that you didn't try to do intentionally. It can't be like you went and flat the mailman tires. You tried to flat his tires, or you bust out his windows. You tried to bust out his windows, or you keyed his car, or you took his baby from him and you put him on child support. Shit that you intended to do. You intended to do that. You babe, I don't think this is gonna work for you. But for unintentional things, and things that we don't be consciously aware of, or you just going through life and you just and you not really paying attention to your man. You have to now go and correct those things. If it is a relationship that he wants and that you want, then y'all, do y'all thing. But yeah, I'm not messing with nobody. And I said this to my sister. I said, I'm not messing with nobody that can't help me and I can't help them. It ain't no reason for us to be messing. I'm not giving up no pussy. I ain't giving up no pussy cat. Yep, fresh.
Now, that's one thing that she said that actually makes sense. Because, see, today where a lot of people go wrong with relationships, they actually don't sit down and discuss what their worldview is to see if that aligns. See, these are important things. A lot of people just jump the gun because they physically attract to each other. If you're thinking about building something serious, you need to say, okay, what type of values does this person have? Do they align with mine? Do we have the same ideal of what a family structure would be? Okay, you need to find out, okay, what's this person's thought process on, the history of our people? Then you got to factor into, because it does happen, if you fall in love with someone that's intercultural, even if they're black. Like I said, if we foundational Black American, a person Jamaican, Haitian, whatever the case may be, continental African, all of that factors in. There's a lot that goes into it. So I agree with her saying that, okay, yeah, you shouldn't be with nobody that you can't be of a mutual benefit to, because the man has his role as a chief protector and provider, and the woman has her role as the educator, the nurturer, and the teacher. Okay. So if you're not able to be compatible in that sense where y'all figure out how you can gel together with a purpose, yeah, I got to give her credit on that one. She's right. You shouldn't be, dealing with somebody that you don't have a purpose for, unless that y'all both have that understanding that, okay, we just doing whatever we doing. And Lord, if that's what you got going on, please don't bring no kids into the world. If you're going to have your fun responsibly. So I'll give her credit on that statement. Let's let it continue.
Ain't got none. None. I'm not. If you can't help me and I can't help you, what are we doing? What, help you catching that and you help me catching that? But what if I don't want a nut? You giving us, or what if you don't want a nut? What if you, you gotta, at some point we gotta start thinking like this. Like, if you can't help this man in no kind of way, whether that be financially or whether that be doing paperwork or computer shit, because computer stuff, or
let me correct her right there because this is something that the so-called boss chicks like her always get wrong. Let me tell you something. If you got a man that's worth a damn, we not depending on you financially for nothing. A wife in particular, in specific terms, a wife is supposed to be a help meet. Keyword, help meet. We not supposed to depend on you to be financially supporting nothing. See, this is why a lot of them people in them 50-50 relationships, yeah, you can do that, but I promise you that's not going to work, because, see, if your woman feel like she got to do half and it's necessary, not optional, that she got to do half, then she going to feel like she got the right to challenge your authority on things. And look, who can, even though it's not with the natural order things, who can blame her? She feel like, oh, I'm doing just as much as you doing. Them the kind of conversation you going to get. And that's the kind of cooperation you going to get. Like James Brown said, it's best to pay the cost to be the boss. You should be able to be in a situation by the time you take on a wife and a family where you can cover all the bills without her help, whether she chip in or not. She should be able to chip in on the minor things if she chooses to. But you should be able to cover all the major bills in the household without whether she chip in or not. Her job should be towards maintaining the home and raising the children. That's the best family structure you can have, okay? Now, everybody want to do the 50-50 thing, knock yourself out. But as a man, if that's what you want to do, you ain't going to get no much cooperation from your woman. It's always going to be a wrestling match and a battle, because she feel like she's on equal footing with you, that she's pulling the same weight. Okay? So if that's the option that you choose, that's what you're going to get. Let's get back to it.
Taking a course or making sure the house is situated and rent and bills is whatever. He ain't got to worry about whatever. If you can't help make this man life easier in no kind of way, and he can't help you make your life easier in no kind of way, what are y'all really doing? And that's the point I'm at in my life. That's where I'm at. I can't. If I can't help you and I'm gonna be the only person benefiting from it, what are we doing? Because you're not gonna be happy. Eventually, you're not gonna be happy. It's only so long my pretty face and my nice body is gonna. It's only so far that's gonna go.
Now, see, as crazy as she was sounding earlier, she has to making sense. At least she know that, okay, if I don't have nothing to offer somebody and they can't offer me nothing, then what we doing? I agree with that. You should be equally yoked to people. You should be a mutual benefit to one another. Okay? So at least she know. And see, this other thing that tripped me out. Ladies, because see, we know where it comes from, this Instagram era, where anytime you go on Instagram, even if you're not looking for it, you go on these helpers pages, man, it's a shrine to themselves. You think you look good. You can't decide what a man thinks when he looks at you, because what we see in you as a woman is not the same thing that you see in other women. It's so hard to get that through some women's head, because you all see them all together. Oh, she's pretty. No, she's pretty to y'all. You don't see what we see as straight heterosexual men. That's the thing I find laughable when they get talking about my pretty face and this and that. No. What have I always told y'all about the pretty face thing? You don't have a pretty face until you get up without all that damn makeup on. That's your pretty face right there, what you look like naturally. When you got to add all the clown paint on, you got other people hair in your head, then you sitting up here dressing, or you just can't cover up. Everything got to be showing. Look at this attire right here. This ain't something that you want your wife wearing if you're a respectable man. Now if you Pookie and Ray Ray and a homosexual, okay, this will do it for you. That's your speed. But if you're a brother that when you walk into a room, your wife needs to represent you well, you can't take this nowhere if that's all she know how to do as far as her attire. You know what I'm saying? So, I just wanted to point that part out, but I'm going to let her get back to it. She actually making a little bit of sense here with what she's saying. I give her credit when she's right.
So then what? When that's no longer making you happy. So if you in a relationship, or you want to be in a relationship, or you dealing with somebody, whatever, really ask yourself, like, can I really help this man in some kind of way? That may be emotionally. Maybe he needs somebody to talk to. Maybe he needs somebody to, he just wants you to listen. I don't really need you to talk, but I want you to listen. Maybe he needs you to take something, I don't know, whatever it is, but whatever it is, can you help him? And whatever you need help with, whether that may not be your bills. A lot of women be like, I don't need a man to pay my bills. You very well may not need him to pay your bills. But can he help you in another way? Can he be your protector? Can he be somebody you can talk to and you can vent to, and he can give you advice that you didn't think that you needed, but you really needed that male perspective? Can he help you paint your damn house that been needing to be painted for all this long time?
Now she's going into things that are only for a husband to do for a wife. Because let me talk to some of these simps out here that happen to catch this broadcast. When they start going into stuff like this, the answer is supposed to be, that's what a husband for. You need to go get you a man. No, you ain't got no business painting no woman's house that's not paying you to do it. Now, if she paying you to do a job, that's different. But can you help me paint my house? No. You ain't got no business paying no woman's bills that's not your wife, or painting no house for them, or none of that. But see, some of these simps out here, we know what y'all will do. Y'all think that, getting between a woman's legs is payment. If you hadn't graduated past that, then I posit to you that you hadn't stepped into manhood yet. No. See, today, unfortunately, you got a lot of chicks like this. The lines have been blurred because a lot of these simps out here, they don't have a backbone to say, no, just because you look a certain way, don't mean that you get access to things that are for a wife, okay? Or somebody that you in a long-term committed relationship with, all right? And on your way to marriage, all right? So see, that's why we got a lot of this out here like that. Man, boy, I got some broadcasts coming up on where I'm going to start breaking some of that down, because I'm seeing too much of it out here and I ain't seeing the right people address it. So if I have to be the one to do it, then like I said before, I'll put it on my shoulders and run with it. Let's let it continue.
Can he help you change the light bulbs that needed to be changed? Or the car, the filter in the car, whatever it is, can he help you in some kind of way? If the answer is no, he ain't willing to help you, or he can't help you, then you don't need to be dealing with that person, because we all here to be used. We all are here to be used, and that's just the reality situation. We're here to be used, but not misused.
That part is very true. Everyone is put here for a purpose, to be used, but not misused. So wherever she's gotten this from, or whatever she's memorized, she's actually making a little bit of sense with some of the stuff she's saying. The problem is, all this stuff she's sitting up here saying, she can't apply it practically. You know how I know that? Not punching down. She don't have a husband. Women that's got all these answers and they know all this stuff, okay. If you got it figured out, where your husband at? I rest my case. Let's let it continue.
So if you can't be used and you're no use to, what the hell are we doing? Make it make sense. That's why like a lot of women, you gonna go with, oh, she'll pick me, she'll pick me, she'll pick me, she'll pick me, she'll pick me. But it's not the fact of me being a pick me, it's the fact of the reality of the real world that we live in. If you want something out of life, whether that is a car, a house, or a man, you have to do certain things. You have to meet certain criteria. You can't go to the bank and be like, well, I don't have no money, I don't have no credit, but I want a house. Well, you could do a DCLR loan or something like that. But y'all get what I'm trying to say. Like, you can't go to a car lot and be like, I don't have no money, I don't have no down deposit, my credit is bad, I don't even got no credit, and I ain't got no income to pay y'all for the car, but I want a car. How that work? It don't. make it make sense. Okay, so whatever it is you gotta do, you do it. And y'all, you just do whatever it is that you gotta do, okay? Whatever it is you gotta do, you make sure you handle your business, because that man ain't gonna be waiting for long, and that woman ain't gonna be waiting for long. So you make sure you handle up and you do what it is that you gotta do. Shout out to Charlie for this fire outfit, okay? Let's do a 360. Give hair, give the
Y'all, now, you heard her recite all that stuff that she done memorized. But look at her attire. That's not grown woman attire. I hate to break it to you. That's not grown woman attire. You hadn't stepped into dressing like a woman without having everything showing and trying to wear tight shit where you're showing off everything on you. Think about it. I guarantee you, every man in here that's listening to the sound of my voice, which would you rather prefer? As far as a wife, a woman that has sense enough to dress conservatively, even if she has a shapely figure, or a woman that's just trying to advertise everything that's supposed to be for your eyes only? Tell the truth on it, fellas. Which would you rather have now? Because, see, that confuses a lot of women today. They be looking at what a man will sleep with versus what we'll marry, okay? See, that's what that really does stump a lot of women. They be like, well, she getting attention from men. Yes, but is she going to get married by any of them men? She's a layup. Yes, and I ain't talking about the basketball maneuver. She's a layup. That's it. She ain't nothing that you gonna put no ring on her finger. So if you dressing like this, like you hadn't stepped out of I'm finna go to the club phase, and see, in her mind, she think that this is classy. No. You still trying to dress like a teenager, and man, y'all, this is what's out here. But hey, she thinks she's doing it. Let's let her wrap it up.
Inches, okay? So shout out to Charlie, Wildlife Apparel. We love you for all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. So shout out to Charlie for sending this fire outfit. I really look like bodied, okay? Like, it's a given. It's given. Body yada yada.
That's another thing. Any grown woman that's running around, hey, it's giving. Leave them young folks slang to the young people, man. You ain't got no business being a grown woman running around here talking like no damn teenager. And see, here's the other thing. Notice what I pointed out before. She started talking about what she thinks she look like. You're not looking at what a man thinks you look like, because you can't. You're a woman. See, that's the thing. Ladies getting in these circles. Ooh, we pretty. No, you pretty to each other. You can't judge what's pretty or attractive to a man. And see, man, look, like I said, I'm going to have to put together another broadcast and break that down, because, see, I be seeing that all over the place. I'm like, it's like, it's sad, because you can tell they don't have any men in their lives to tell them that. Like, what you see in a woman is not what a straight man sees in a woman.
Yada, yada, yada. It's giving body. Okay, Charlie. Because what? Charlie. What? Okay. All right. But yeah, shout out to Wildlife Apparel. You know, we love you.
So there you have it, family. I brought you this broadcast tonight to put some things into proper perspective and context about this thotty karate problem out here. And I tried to do it in a manner that shows you exactly what's going on in real time, because, see, everything that I showed you here tonight, that's just a microcosm of what we're dealing with in our communities today, okay? So what you have to do if you're a black parent, you have to get out in front of this. If you have black daughters, and show them that, hey, look, this is not the outcome that you want for your life, okay? You have to make sure that you use these things, as tragic as they are, as teaching examples, okay? Brothers, it's up to you to educate your sons on what not to choose to procreate with or marry, because what I showed you here earlier tonight, that's not anything that you build a legacy with. As unfortunate as their situations are, there's both halves to solving this problem. We both have to be on point about doing our jobs in the community when it comes to doing what we should to make sure that these things are not continued over and over in a cycle and becomes a generational curse. Everybody loves to use that phrase. That's what it actually means. A vicious cycle continuing over and over to the detriment of the community. So with that said, salute to everybody that joined us over here tonight. Thank you to everybody that contributed to the broadcast during it or after it. Your names will definitely be on the community tab as usual as a show of appreciation. And with that said, make sure you take care of yourselves out here, family. Salute to you, Black First, and I will see you all in future content.
This is the 50th anniversary of hip-hop, and we still have a lot of discrepancies as far as the origins of hip-hop, a lot of claims, who did what, who was the first this, who was the this and that, and such and such. But at the end of the day, we need a definitive story, all right? And that story can only be told by the founders of this culture.
Like everything was being driven and influenced by young, black, American culture. Like the slang, the style of dress, the initial music that we chose.
You look at all the boroughs, you got, money making Manhattan and money earning Mount Vernon and Crooklyn. The Bronx was the boogie down Bronx. We was partying up there.
I am Coke LaRock, the first MC of hip hop. First cat to pick the mic up.
I introduced rapping to the turntable because when I came with it, nobody in the world was doing it. I'm right after Rudy Ray Moore.
They want to come in the mix, they want to say, we started. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. What came to be known as hip hop was solely an African-American creation.
What would you get out of some Jamaican toast? What is that? I've never heard of a rapper use a Jamaican toast or a Jamaican fleur as a rhyme. I'd never heard of it, and I don't know where that myth came from.
My name is legendary King Trixie from the Bronx, BX from the West Side. I am the first breakdancer.
That narrative that hip-hop has had 3 founding fathers, that's been rolling for the last almost 30 years, which isn't true. You don't have just 3 people who created hip-hop. Hip-hop was created by a number of different people.
I am the grandfather, the godfather of the graffiti culture. I am the first element of hip-hop.
The roots of hip hop being Jamaican, absolutely false.
My name is MC Sha-Rock. I am a founding member of the MC/rap culture.
Cassette tapes was the internet of our time. It just traveled around by hand.
I know for a fact that the B-boy stand started from the gods, the 5%ers that would be at the jams back in the days who were acting as security.
If they get the real truth of how it all was created, then so many lies would not be able to be in existence.
So when we talk about hip hop and what it is, it's an extension of the music and the instrumentation that our forefathers created.
Check out the live stream premiere of the documentary short, It's Bigger Than Hip Hop, The Black American Family Tree and Q&A, a fundraiser to create a series detailing music's evolution. Go to DewanB.com for streaming passes and crowdfunding.